And then killing. No, you don't kill them. You set them up for failure. You set them up to be killed. It's like, guys, okay, I've been with them all game, and then I lost them for like 2 minutes, and now suddenly there's 2 extra dead.
We've got to vote someone off now.
We've got to vote someone off. I think it's him. I think because now suddenly 2 people are dead, and there was not enough time for a
He's been using me for an alibi. Yeah.
And I feel dirty, but still, they will always try to fight it. They'll always try to complain. But the thing is, you get in there first. And don't push. You push hard, but not too hard. You push too hard, people suddenly
Harlan
turn on
learned
you.
that lesson today. He really did.
Look, I'm just saying, every time I've gotten, like, overly passionate, I have been innocent. I'm just playing the long game.
Don't stop playing mind games, Harlan.
The thing is that he got overly passionate about something, and then we just didn't believe him. And yeah, he was right, but he was being overly passionate.
When you say we, you were imposter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say we, you were the imposter.
Yeah. Well, Harlan's really easy to just bend to your will when all he does is go, "It's Chris, it's Chris, it's Chris." It's like, no, it's not. What are you talking about?
People are going to start trusting me.
Yeah,
so
but
here's the thing.
here's
the thing, Harlan, I have the same theory that it's always Chris, no matter who's actually imposter.
Oh, I know, and I keep getting ejected for it, and it's like, thanks.
You're welcome.
See, the thing is, I always say it in a way that I suspect Chris, but I know it's not.
Yeah, well, and then everybody ejects me. Anyway,
I
welcome to Crabby D&D. I'm here with Harlan.
No.
Hello.
Sam.
Harlan the Sus. Hello.
Simon.
Hello.
Jamie.
Hi.
And Infernal.
Hello.
And Matt just said in the chat, to be fair, it wasn't Chris who caused it, it was me. Okay, fair enough.
Valid. Very valid.
No, that's valid. Alright, but yes, we have no Sudz at the moment, don't know where he went. He might join later. If he does, then great. If not, then, oh well, he misses out. So, usual announcements. Thank you to for all the artwork, all of the sound and audio and music. Most of it comes from Tabletop Audio. Others come from other various sources, but I'd recommend heading there. It's a very good site for what you're trying to look for. Maps were made on incarnate.com. Some, most of the time, there are some older maps that are in here that were made on Dungeon Creator Studio, and this is played on Tabletop Simulator. So, with that out of the way, let's get into what the party's up to tonight.
Oh, no.
Ice Lord Sus.
Yeah, of course you'd say that.
I mean, the Devils is kind of their entire shtick.
Yeah. I'm not wrong.
Anyway, let's let Chris speak.
With the party landing on the frozen, frigid, and icy layer of hell Stygia after their little encounter with some bat-like creatures they later find to be called lunar devils, the party did their best to pursue whatever direction and understanding they could do, but they were getting cold, very cold, and in this frigid wasteland there was nothing they could do. Lighting flames failed. Magical sources of heat, most of them failed, and so the party had to improvise, digging holes, creating blankets of cotton, and doing everything that they could to try and keep themselves warm. To a certain degree it worked, but they weren't going to be able to stay the night. They weren't going to be able to get home at this rate. With that in mind, the party set out on their only other lead that they had, Malcom spotting a faint orange glow in the distance for but a moment. With the party investigating, they found a series of strange tree-like structures, almost a forest of ice. But each of these trees was a frozen devil from a time gone by, and as they looked about the area, they found one that had been broken, shattered to a portion. After this, the party investigated the area, finding a series of large tar pools which emanated a amount of heat which was nice for them in this situation, given that they needed the heat, but it was difficult to work with. While 5 of the party set about digging and trying to set up a small entrenched encampment around the tar, Malcom wandered off, searching for whatever had caused this broken tree. finding none other than a Morbin, a strange one at that, one that he hadn't seen before, of black fur with reddish tips on the end. As he tried to parley with the Morbin, he transformed back into himself from his white draconic form and spoke to it. With various things being said, another devil, an Ice Lord devil, showed up, landing and making a deal with Malcom. For the guarantee of a safe place to stay and warm rest, they would be allowed to rest there, so long as they took one of their group back with them. A deal was struck in the heat of the moment, and the party was brought to understand the full length of this deal. The Morbin would be returning with them to the material plane. With this, the party travelled with, after making the deal, ending up in their small alcove cavern, a strange ice structure with a small hole in the top, and in the centre of the room was stone, not ice. The top of a volcano, with lava bubbling around it and forming a large heat bubble around it, and otherwise encased in the otherwise frigid ice where it would melt and freeze instantly from the environment around. The party was able to sit down in a place they felt a little bit more at home, but not comfortably. With the Ice Lord otherwise communicating with his allies and the 6 Ice Devils on the Morbin in the same area and space as them, they had to be wary. But with the deal struck and the understanding that they would take the Morbin back to the material plane alongside Malcom, the party sat down and rested, eating and keeping watch throughout the night. It is otherwise uneventful. Throughout the night, nothing seems to happen, or what they believe to be the night. As the next day, when they all awake, the 6 Ice Devils have returned after 3 of them had left prior to them resting. The Ice Lord sits over in one portion, keeping an eye on the party, he himself clutching his spear and just watching intently to see what they do. As you rise from your rest, each of you in turn, you get an eerie sense about the world around you, but you plan for the day ahead.
Right. What was our plan for getting out of here again? Sort of
Right.
by me one more time.
Well, there are 2 options. One, I can use Word of Recall to boop about 6 of us all together, straight out of hell back home. There's a strong possibility that'll work, but this isn't exactly a normal situation, so I might have to ask a Turan for some help to make sure everything stays completely safe, but no, it's not too bad.
I believe it would be safer if we teleported to the ether first.
I'm happy for that to happen. I just need why would that be safer?
Well,
I mean, I assume the hell has stuff that messes with plane shifting magic.
Chris, what
Right.
would our characters know for certain about the barriers and stuff?
The barriers have been spoken of as more of a hypothesis for your party. You've never encountered them. The only thing that you've heard about is the one that obviously seals up the hells in the Ormance Ravine, which you've never seen or heard of. It might be a myth, it might be true. The only thing that you do know for certain is that plane shifting without a tuning fork can be dangerous regardless of whether there's a barrier or not.
Yeah, I get that. Well, but
I
Bern,
have a tuning for the ether.
so we'll be more secure there, and quite frankly, there must be some reason why I don't just see pit fiends wandering around in the material plane all the time, doing shit for the giggles. I mean, if I was a pit fiend, that's what I'd do.
I'm happy to go there and then do my teleportation thing, but will you be able to get back to the material plane once you're there?
I mean, we can just do the same thing you were going to do here to get us all back. Can we not?
Oh, I know, but I can only get so many of us back. I'm gonna have to banish you, and then you'd need to teleport back to Adamantia. I'm just asking, do you have the spell slots for that? Oh wait, you can use a teleportation circle. But that's only if you actually land somewhere where you can make a
Yes,
teleportation
but
circle.
I don't want to test where banishment is gonna send me.
Well, it'll send you to the material plane, because that's your home plane.
I'm not sure if that's how it's gonna work.
What makes you
Feel
say
free
that?
to explain.
Well,
Burn sus.
it might just keep me here because I have ethereal energy within me.
Oh,
Okay, I want to do it. Can I do a check on that, Chris? Because that is
sus.
a bit of a long shot in terms of. Oh, I've got an. I don't get sent to the plane of fire when I get banished, so
You don't
it
know.
seems unlikely. I banished myself, Chris.
Not for a full minute.
Yes, I have twice now.
And even if the banish did work, it would always send him back to his. I know it wouldn't. No, what
It wouldn't if it returns him to his home plane. I would say go ahead and roll me just a general arcana check.
Yeah, Arcana check.
Yeah, can other people do that? Because I suck at Arcana.
No.
I'll say one other person can. If you're trained in arcana, somebody else can.
Oh, fuck it. Is Elsyan trained in Arcana? I think he is.
You're a wizard. You better be.
Okay, I started off as a mystic, and Elsyan just likes normal magic because he used to not be able to do it. 15.
15. Your home plane is typically designated as to where you either spend most of your time, or where you were either born, created, or otherwise proceeded to exist for the majority of your life. A devil, for example, when they die, will return to their home plane because that's where their body will begin to respawn.
Yes.
So that means their home plane is the Hells, because that's where they are reborn, that's where they were created, and that's where they exist. Whereas something like Bern, who comes from the material plane, despite the essence of his magic, that is where he draws his power from rather than where he exists. Same ways that a warlock wouldn't be sent to where their patron is, because that could get weird.
Or a cleric wouldn't be sent to where their god is.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So
that won't be a problem, Bern. I assure you.
You are.
Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Elsyan?
Okay.
Did I check this quick?
Right.
I saw your message. So yeah. Same still stands.
But Bern, you are from the material plane, right?
I should be, yes.
You were born there. No.
And you spent like most. Wait, I gotta find
that. Is true.
You were born there, therefore that is your plane home. Take your plane home. Go get a banana. I don't know.
Sasha. Sometimes just stop. Sometimes.
By the way,
you're special
Sasha.
today, but stop.
Sasha, you were time locked because you needed the meteorite, right?
Yes.
Could you not ask your goddess when it's gonna strike exactly?
Normally, yes, but at the moment, no.
Why not? What?
Hell sucks, y'all.
Well, when you're out of hell.
Oh yes, then I can do that. I'm perfectly happy to.
If we have some time, we could spend it in the ether. We might find the thing I'm looking for there.
If we've got the time, yes. Ether is probably okay.
What?
I think. Can I make a religion check on that one?
Right.
What was that, sorry? I was typing a message to Sudz, because he's not here. I'm just letting him know that I will be having the scries he wanted to do take place still.
Can I do a religion check for whether I can do the divination thing? Especially in the ethereal, but also here, potentially?
Divination just states an event that would occur in the next 7 days.
It does.
I know, but like I wanted to know whether my connection to Turan would be a bit fucky because I'm in hell.
I mean, you've used a divination once already today, which means that... Oh, wait, no, that was yesterday you used it to find the...
Yeah.
Actually, no, this is still
Yeah.
technically... No, this is a different day because you just took a long rest.
We
so
took a long
it
rest.
should be fine. You don't need to make a check for that.
Oh,
You should
okay.
be fine. It's just a matter of... If the intent is to say go, we plane hop to the ethereal, we rest there, and then we were to go back, and then you ask the question there, it would be the same as if you asked it here, just, again, the 7 days would have shifted 2 days.
Okay. Right. Actually, having thought about it in my very smart manner,
Elsyan puts his head into his hand.
it appears that I can indeed do this today. So I will do this today.
Just figure out when your meteor's going to turn up.
Right.
Come
Aturan!
on, get on with it.
When's my meteor gonna turn up? When will my meteor land on the material plane?
You sit there, you burn the necessary material components within this area as you go over to the lava pool, you sprinkle them in, you watch as the fumes otherwise rise up with a number amongst them, while Chris finds what day it is. It's written down on the calendar. 3 days from now.
Okay, we got 3 days. 3 days. Okay, I'm good with 3 days.
Right then. What question? Why didn't you do that before?
Honestly, didn't think I could because hell magic.
No. I mean, we've been thinking about this meteor for like a while now, and
Oh, it only works within 7 days.
yeah, I get that.
so-
But when it was within possible, you could have
You mean
narrowed it
yesterday,
down. Yes.
when we were going, actually planning to go there already, to be there for the day when it could fall.
But you could have checked, and you didn't.
How much of this
Yeah.
meteor do you need?
Never mind.
Probably just a bit, but it's as much as we can get really is just in case we can do something fun with it.
Right.
Wouldn't you like to cast Meteor with an 8th level spell slot?
What?
Wait, what?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh,
That's a fascinating prospect, but shouldn't we get back to the matter at hand?
oh yes,
Yes,
leave
yes.
it out. I mean,
Mhm. So, plane shift all of us to the Aether. Then I can banish some people to the material plane, and then use my word of recall to bring back the rest.
hmm.
Okay.
Now,
One
I-
question: where do you get sent with banishment? Is it random?
It's a little bit random. It's somewhere on the plane. I think it's not quite as bad as like a really fucked up teleport, but it's not great.
You sure about that? I don't want whoever to be to pop,
It's
pop back with
it's
banishment or
fine.
end up in a volcano. Because
Yes,
quite
no-
frankly, you lot are useful to me.
That's why I was going to send Bern, because Bern can teleport and do lots of fly things, and
Yes,
generally
could we do that the next day so I can have instant teleport instead? I don't want to spawn into some monster lair and have to write up my teleportation circle for a minute.
Because it
No?
could send them into the Underdark.
I mean that's fair. That's fair.
Something else to know
maybe-
is that you can't draw teleportation circles on non-solid surfaces. So if he ends up in a marsh, he's stranded there. Same as if he spawns in the ocean or anywhere else that's sludgy. Because
Does
the
it have
droid
to be
can-
balloon?
Okay, got a
Oh.
plan. We get him a raft that he takes with him when he teleports.
I'll go with him.
Wait, I've just had a thought of just a teleportation circle on a raft and we leave it whenever we go into somewhere stupid. Like, I don't know. Hell.
I mean
It's like-
that's a
This is
thought.
sad
Is
silly
there? Oh shit! Could we do the Batman thing where like he's got the cloth cape, but he can electrify it to make it solid? Because then you could just have like a rolled up carpet of it.
Too far. Too far.
Fuck
We
you.
do-
No, it's
We do
great.
need a magic carpet though.
We do need a magic carpet.
We'd have
It
to get
doesn't
back to the
even have
Imperial
to.
plane before we could start making.
Anyway,
So it's a
let's
good
get out of
idea,
hell
but-
first.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Alright.
So just to
Okay.
double check the numbers, you can word of recall 6 people.
I can word of recall exactly. Where is it? Where is it?
It's you
Yes.
and 5 other creatures.
Me and 5 willing creatures. So, in this particular situation, it would probably be Queglod, Elsyan, Malcom, and the boy, the rat.
Boy.
Wait, am I missing?
Who at this
I'm missing
point
people.
wanders
Give me a
up to you.
second. Yeah. Okay. Basically, it's just it's really more of a matter of who isn't it going to be, because I need to send 2 people. I think.
I'll go with Bern.
And the thing is, can you select 2 at the same time with the same spell?
Yes, I can if I use a high level spell slot.
Okay. Does it guarantee you get sent to the same place if it's the same spell, or?
I would make an argument that it should. I
But you
don't.
can't guarantee.
I can't guarantee it unless I want to make some sort of check for that, Chris.
You've never been on the receiving end of a banishment spell for where they get sent. You have no idea. The most that you know is that if you were to banish 2 creatures, say you were to banish a devil and a demon, they both don't end up in hell. They go to their own respective planes. This does potentially suggest that means that it won't work sending them to the same place, but you're not sure. You've never used it before in that manner.
I have 2 things to put forward.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if you can word of recall yourself and 5 others.
Mm-hmm.
Just one question.
Well,
though.
there's 6 of us total,
Plus the rat.
plus the rat. So you and 5 others just leaves 1 person to be banished,
Which is Bern, who can teleport.
Yeah. which is fine.
I do have one question though. Is banishment not 1 minute and then I get?
Yeah, I
back?
got to cast it for 1 minute, and then you're wherever.
This is the stage for after we get to the ether, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
So
get
let's
to the
go.
ether
Let's
first.
get out of hell.
Gather around, everyone.
The rat at
everyone
this point
huddle
has
on
moved up. He's got a large backpack. He's got a bedroll. He's got a saucepan. He's got a bunch of what look to be legs hanging out of the back of it. And
There's no way can we let that go in the material plane.
just wanders up, and he just with a smile on his face. Right, I'm ready to go. Malcolm, at which point, for the sake of Malcolm saying he previously wanted to do it, he does 2 scries. One for the blind butcher's eye, which fails to find.
Excellent.
So it's not on this plane.
Which includes the entirety of Hell's, not just
Which includes
this
the
plane.
entirety of Hell's, yes, correct.
Good, just making sure.
Yep. So it's not in Hell. And then he attempts to scry on the blind butcher. However, the blind butcher resists. Or fails to find. Either way.
Okay, right. Chris said resist first, and that's sus, so
Yeah, sure, he resisted. He's here, like you already know that.
yeah, oh yeah, we do. Okay, he might have left by the time we got here.
If he has, then that's even scarier for you.
Shush. Hopefully he dies on the way out. He won't. Because I would really judge you hard if that's what happened.
Just kill off one of the main villains. Oh yeah, he died while planar traveling.
Oh my god.
You know what?
Just straight up, I have to go now. My planet needs
I'd say there should be a 1% chance of that just happening.
No, because then I get to do that with you guys. Oh, they plane shift. Oh no, roll a d100. Oh, you rolled a 1? TPK. Alright, it's campaign 2. Let's go.
You're already doing that.
I can quit. Wait, what?
Alright, so you're plane shifting to the ether.
I drop some brimstone. I light a fire. I can out my calcifer,
Okay.
and I feed it the tuning fork.
Okay.
Cast plane shift.
Scattering the brimstone in front of you, the kind of the dark black and red fire just lifts up. It opens its mouth wide as you place the tuning fork inside, and a doorway opens up for but a moment. As you and all your friends link hands, the tuning fork pulls you through, as you are all thrust through the doorway. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
As you travel through,
Alexa, shut up.
you feel the presence of the new plane where you are headed becoming closer and closer. As you're drawn towards it, that feeling of being pulled through a space you've never traveled before. You watch as in front of you there is another doorway. A doorway leading to where you want to go. A bright light streaming down in front of the doorway, otherwise obscuring most of the horizon, but with the looks of iron sand and rust otherwise lining the floor ahead of you. As you're pulled towards it, you watch as a massive golden sigil pulls itself up in front of you, large wings of gold and chains wrapping around it, otherwise hold it in place. Runes line the chains, dense with magic. You can feel the presence of it. Do you cancel your spell?
No.
No. As you're pulled forward, the tuning fork strikes the surface of it, at which point you watch as a hole pulls itself open, but you feel the chains latch onto each of you. You feel their presence as they almost proceed to identify you in some manner. You each feel the radiance course through you, tearing into your flesh and the pain of it all. As this occurs,
Yeah.
each of you feeling this happen, you each take 33 points of radiant damage.
Oh.
Why is this happening? The tuning fork was supposed to stop this.
It did.
Harlan,
You automatically
let's-
succeeded, and you took half damage.
Oh god. Oh god.
So you took a quarter of the potential damage.
Oh wait, that's quarter, right?
That's quarter. If you failed, you would have taken 134 points of radiant damage.
I want a hands up. Who would survive that?
I would.
Me.
Yeah.
That's a few.
Now, is that a
Good
case of
enough.
is that a case of you guys would be knocked unconscious by that?
I would
How
be a
much
little
damage
bit
was it?
hurt.
134.
That's one over my max current, but I had
it's-
33 temporary.
It's also radiant, which you're vulnerable to under this effect, so you would have taken
Oh, okay.
268.
He wouldn't have survived.
Yeah, I would have
That's
died.
outright kill.
Yep.
Even I would have struggled on that one.
As you're pulled
That-
through, you feel the radiance tear away at
So
your
I take
flesh,
60.
leaving you take I'll say the tuning fork protects you for this because the given effect is that it does protect you from it. You feel the burning effect of this as it otherwise peels away at your flesh, the radiance pulling away the scarring and the burning, leaving marks on each of you as you are pulled through. But you ultimately arrive at the other side, your feet landing on sand.
Okay.
The temperature significantly improves. With the presence of your cotton blanket, it begins to get a little toasty, but it is otherwise a better climate from what you can tell. As you look around, you see the vast iron sands. You squint for a moment as there is an actual sun here. Your dark vision being pulled away for the moment as you return back to your usual vision, seeing the shimmering nature of the iron sands with layers of rust around various areas. Looking across the horizon, you see lightly rolling hills as well of the same sand with little bits of rock sticking out here and there. You see large and rather strange blades and weapons sticking out of the ground. You initially look around and you see hundreds, thousands of them. In all directions, as you look around, you see them just scattered across the surface of the plain, all of them jammed into the sand as if small trees grown from this plain. It's a peculiar sight. But as each of you begins to look around, the light wind blowing against your faces, very otherwise gentle and much more welcome than the previous plain. You begin to lick your lips as the dryness sets in. You take the cotton blanket off and you begin to feel your body's sweating. With the exception of you, Bern.
Hey, I got
As-
fire resistance too, thank you.
It's not fire resistance, this is just dryness. As the air around you is dry and you can feel the sweat beginning to bead up on your skin. But you look around. Those with a passive perception of 15 or higher, so Harlan,
Hello.
Sam, and Malcom. As you look around, you feel almost strange as a shadow lightly passes over the area ahead of you. As you look up, almost like a gargantuan mothership, A massive cog floats in the air and passes by with a series of others travelling with it, almost reminiscent of a cloud. It's peculiar, but it's strange here as you otherwise look out across all of this. But Bern, you feel the kind of light humming of the tuning fork still in your hand.
Humming.
Well,
Okay. Okay. Important question:
Mhm.
Did the Mormon survive?
He did. He lands, and you can see portions of his fur are otherwise singed and set on fire as he's patting them out. But he's otherwise
poor
okay.
My poor Mormon baby. I mean, slave. I'm neutral evil right now. I'm future slave.
right.
I look at the tuning fork. Why is it humming?
You hold the tuning fork in place. It's lightly humming.
It's a tuning fork. It's what they do.
You see, because we are on the plane that it resonates with, it is quite literally resonating.
Elsyan knocks on hard onto Sasha's helmet to make it.
Oh God, what was that? I think I had a stroke. Oh God.
You can have a stroke later. Right, let's get on with this.
Could we take a look around first before we leave?
What are
Yeah,
you
sure.
looking for here?
We have 3 days.
Well,
Sort of. Well, okay. It's more like we've got 1 day because we need to get there and then teleport over to where we need to be.
but okay. What we're really getting at is that right now we've got a bit of time to look around.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. So let's look around. Let's see what we can
Alright.
find.
I
What?
take out. Go ahead.
Morton friend, are you okay?
This is weird. This is the material plane? This
No.
this is
No,
very
this is
dry.
Not yet.
No. We're halfway there. We had to stop
Ah.
off before we get there.
Bit of a
This
weird-
is what is this called? The Aether?
Aether.
Yes.
What do
Strange.
we know about the Aether?
Not a lot. None of you have really done research on it.
Elsyan goes to reach for his book of lore, then he realizes he cries.
Book of Law really only encompasses the material plane anyway.
I know. Let Elsyan believe. Let's face it, that was everything.
Okay.
Something.
I've got plane shift. Can I? Oh, sorry. After you.
I take out Scholar, or the book,
Mhm.
and I concentrate, trying to feel if it's getting pulled to somewhere.
You take out Scholar, the metal book heavy in your hands and getting slightly hotter in this environment. You don't feel a sense of direction. It's not pulling. Either you're not close enough or it's not here. You do, however, note as you just hold the tuning fork in place, it changes ever so slightly as you shift it.
Shame.
Begins to vibrate more or less.
Ooh. I try and orientate myself to where it's humming the most.
You turn around a bit, the rest of you watch as he turns, and you watch as the tuning fork begins to vibrate the most in a particular direction. You're not entirely sure what direction this is, given the nature of the sun being almost absent, but there being a sense of light in the area.
I believe it's telling us to go this way.
Okay.
You were gonna say something, Sasha?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, thinking about it, I should have just grabbed the tuning fork and used my one, because then you'd still have a 7th level spell slot on you. I have plane shift as well. It would have meant that you could have teleported to do whatever it is you wanted to do.
It's a bit late now.
Yeah, it's just one of those things,
Happens.
What's wrong with you?
Should we?
Well, as it is, we're gonna have to spend the day here. Says, if you think there's something in that direction, I suggest we head over there.
Yes. Shall we then?
All right, let's
Yeah.
have a bit of an explore. Are you all right for that, Morbin friend?
Sure. This place is interesting, but no, not home. Not home.
Not yet. We will get you there.
Good.
I do like look around at all the weapons and stuff. See, basically the world.
Make me a perception check.
Ooh.
Lucky one.
Oh, thank you. There we go. That's better.
Okay.
Perception plus 0, 15.
15. You look around each of the weapons. You don't recognize any of them. Most of them just look bog standard and normal, either plain long swords in their typical design. But a lot of them have their own feel to them. Some look like they were made in the Empire. Others maybe the Alliance or the Highlands. They have a variety of different shapes and designs, but each of them ultimately serves the same function. You just look around. You don't see any like magical ones or distinct ones, but they vary from weapon to weapon also. Some hammers, some long swords, broadswords, short swords, great swords, maces, all of them. And they just either sit there vertical or leaning off to one side slightly.
This place, has this got a copy of every weapon in existence?
Yes, it does.
Huh, I wonder if my axe is here.
It should.
Well,
I believe.
That's a question and a half, isn't it?
I
Probably.
believe when we were, as I was researching it, I believe it should.
Every weapon, regardless of how it's made, is there's a copy of it in the ether.
Yeah.
And as Sam asked the question, if a object is, let's say for example, a longsword is broken, the end is snapped off, and it's reforged, a second copy of it forms in the ether as well. Which means one weapon can have multiple copies. Magical weapons are the exception because they can't be broken by typical means without being completely destroyed.
Right.
Okay, so the thought has just occurred. I could have 2 Forge Storms. Stormforge or whatever. Forge
Okay,
Storm?
Sasha. Okay, right. We can either go for your meteorite or try and get another Forge Storm, whatever the thing it is.
No, we need the
Keep
meteorite.
in
We need the
mind,
meteorite.
these ones don't actually have the magical properties.
No.
No?
It's just the base sword. It's just the base model of the weapon.
I see.
And could they even be removed from the ether?
Can, yes.
They can, yeah. And
We could use the ones in the ether to locate the objects in the material plane.
so the ones in the ether will try and seek out the original in the material plane if you don't already know where it is. Once you've reached it, you can merge the ether form with the magical form, or with its copy. If its copy is non-magical, it becomes a +1 weapon.
Ooh.
Huh.
Interesting.
This was one of the ways I was trying and locate where the ice dragon was. Because I believe we saw some weapons there frozen.
Yes. One with amber in it. Has holly, I believe, on the hilt.
Yes.
Right. It moves.
One was like completely engrossed in vines or something.
Yeah.
Which
I'm gonna have a look at my axe. Is it responding in any way in this place?
Make me an investigation check.
And that is with a 6, so that's 12.
You kind of hold your axe in present, you kind of give it a light toss, you kind of feel it doesn't seem to be reacting at all. Not in the same way that it did to, say, the Prince of Blood's chains, but it doesn't seem to have a presence or a response to anything here.
Okay. Fair. Right, shall we follow your vibrating fork?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is the famous Ass Blaster 5000. Ah.
Wow. That's a
Sasha,
callback.
no, we can't get one.
We already have one. Sasha can borrow it.
No, Sasha can't.
Sasha, yes.
No.
Oh man. As you follow the tuning fork, otherwise following its general sense, you travel over a nearby hill. It's not far you have to walk, as about 40 feet away over a nearby hill, you begin to see structures ahead of you. You see what look to be 8 large iron pillars, each of which is slightly fluted at the bottom with more of a jagged design, as it rises up with runes carved into it that glow blue on each of them, with each segment as almost, or stone or piece of the iron pillars lightly rotates and spins, a light grinding sound as they turn on each of these 8. Connecting each of the 8 is a 8-point star, where each of them are on each of the different points, formed by 2 squares. 2 large rings also connect to this, running around the outside, and you see what looks to be a very vague light blue aura wrapping around the entire structure. In the center of it, on what looks to be a quadrupedal pod of some design, with the iron stakes and legs of it digging into the sand, you see sat atop it is this gyroscope-like ball sat there. Various plates in the shape of cogs and that otherwise wrap and envelop one another as they slowly spin in place and the blue aura otherwise emits from it. Each of the grooves on the 8-point star and the 2 lines running around the outside have what looks to be a blue channeling energy that runs through them. It's strong, and the field that wraps around it is visible, boasting the natural strength of this magic present.
We have a
All
slight
right,
draw.
Bern, go right ahead.
Chris?
Hmm?
I have a slight drawing of what this looks like.
I'll do what I can. So, draw, line, box, circle. So, something along the lines of that for the 2 rings that run around the outside, maybe a little bit closer. And then each of the... actually, this would be better to do as a 1-line box. Not ideal, but close enough. And then on each of those points is a... I could probably do better. On each of those points is a pillar, each of which is made of iron and otherwise emanating magic of some form.
Is this on the ground or floating?
This is on the ground, and in the center of it you see what looks to be a gyroscope, otherwise spinning in place, emanating this bluish magic. As you kind of move forward with the tuning fork, you can feel the light hum and emanation from the outside of this blue field. The tuning fork begins to slightly vibrate in your hands, but doesn't seem to do anything else.
And the center is this sort of gyroscopic ball of energy and crazy shit. Cool.
Let's break it.
No.
I mean,
Let Bern do what Bern wants to do with it.
I'm not sure what to do with it.
Well, I don't know. Go touch it.
Sasha, you shouldn't just go.
How big is the thing, by the way?
Hmm?
How big is the thing?
About 30-foot radius, so 60-foot wide total.
Okay.
With the
I was
fork-
thinking that like fucking.
Oh
huge.
no, this isn't like tiny. If you wanted a rough scale, this is probably correct, assuming this is one of your other party members, not Simon.
Okay.
So it's a massive circle. The gyroscope is the smallest part of this.
Mine was like this big in my head.
Oh no, it's not massive, but the iron pillars aren't tall. They probably stand maybe about 15 feet high at most.
It is bigger than gargantuan, so.
Yes, true.
Okay. Bern, you gotta go and touch it, or do something to it. I don't know.
If you don't, one of us will, and quite frankly,
You're the most likely to survive here.
Can I make some kind of check to just like figure out what it could be / what it would do to the tuning fork? Why it's vibrating?
Go ahead and make me an Arcana check. I'll say disadvantage given that you don't entirely understand the nature of this.
Anna?
I'm just
Arcana,
saying,
yeah.
this place.
11.
11? Looks like a wall of force of some form, but that's about it. It's powerful magic, whatever it is, and it's visible, which is difficult to be said, seeing as walls of force, on the most part, are invisible, with the few exceptions being created by specific mages. As you watch as your rat companion, with his restraint roll being a natural 1, moves up and otherwise goes and touches the outside of it.
Oh wait, no, go.
Please explode. Please explode.
You watch as he places his hand on the outside of the field, and kind of just slams his hand, patting against it. It's solid.
Oh.
You watch as he goes, ah.
Okay.
Elsyan,
Bern.
You're quiet again, Infernal.
Telling me? Yep. I go to it with the tuning fork.
Okay. Tuning fork vibrates.
I touch it. Does it not do anything?
You touch the outside of it with the tuning fork. You watch as the magic lightly runs through the surface of it. Otherwise, does nothing.
Right. Okay. Bern. I'm like at least 15 foot back. Bern. It's a wall of force. You could disintegrate it.
Wait! Elsyan goes, wait! I could disintegrate it!
Hey, let him have his moment, love.
Right,
Let him have his moment.
I want the moment. It is my moment. I shall have this moment. I'll own this moment. No. I apologize.
Oh, you've got nothing to apologize, sweetheart. I know you're just excited. Here, would you like a treat?
I don't want a fucking treat.
Are you sure? It's one of those little jammy Dodger biscuit things.
I don't want to... Sasha?
Yes?
Get a treat out of my face.
All right. Putting it back in my pack. Wrapping that up. All right.
I might want it later.
Okay, I'll set it aside for you.
You watch as the rat kind of scopes around the outside, and you then watch as he kind of presses his face up against it and just looks inside with one large eye.
I fully imagine he tries to bite it at some point.
I know, right?
He peels his
a trait.
You watch as he peels his face away, almost like Velcro, from the outside of it, and just goes,
There's a body.
Huh? I do the same.
You press your face up against the outside of it. Make me a perception check.
50.
Okay. Sticking out of the sand below the gyroscope, you see a boned hand with what looks to be a ring on the ring finger.
Boned hand.
Yeah, it's a
As opposed
skeletal
to those
hand.
unboned hands.
With
You know,
a
like that one
With a ring on the
Harry
finger.
Potter-
From this distance, it's hard to see.
What about the pillars, the runes on them? What do they have?
The runes on them are arcane, and in the nature of what they are, I'd say roll me an Arcana check to see if you can discern what kind of magic they're utilizing or using. 20? Was that?
Yeah.
Looking at the surface of them, you recognize these pillars. And you wait for a moment, and you look, and then you recognize some of the symbols. Some of these runes on the surface of these pillars are the same as the ones that were in the Blind Butcher's lair. Some of these pillars are utilizing ley line energy.
Oh, no.
What does this mean?
Okay.
Who knew stuff about ley line?
Malcom did!
Hey,
I have
Okay.
a book.
DM, can we make him tell us about ley lines?
Rook has a book. I'll let Rook
I
have
have
his
a
moment
book.
first.
All right, I'll look in the book to see what it says in regards to this.
Roll me an investigation check.
All right.
You want to give him advantage because he's got a book?
That's well, I got crit.
He got a
plus-
crit, it doesn't matter.
Oh, crap. Well done.
31 with the +5?
Yeah, +6. Yeah.
So +5, that's 31. You look through the book and you begin flipping through. If this is utilizing leyline energy, the nature of it and just the look of it, your understanding of magic is very vague, but with the seeing walls of force in the past and Bern disintegrate them, the use of leyline energy means that whatever is here, in the fact that it's using leyline energy, will mean that disintegrate won't work. The nature of this is it is meant to be permanent. And whoever was on the inside obviously didn't have the ability to leave. You put these things together, you look at it, you understand from the book. This was set up for a reason, whatever that reason may be, but it utilizes that leyline energy to keep itself sustained and safe for at the very least 100,000 years.
Well, I'll relay that, and so essentially it's a prison of some form, from what I can guess. And whatever's in there wasn't ever meant to get out. I mean, it's a long time to hold something in there.
Well, it's either, well, it might have been to keep something in, or it might have been to keep something out.
Quite possibly. Like Bern.
Like Bern, yes.
Why would this be reacting to it, though?
Roll me an Arcana check, Bern.
Before he gives you give the answer, I think I've got a guess.
Go for it.
Because this is utilizing leyline energy of the Aether, this essentially means it is a focus point of the Aether's natural energy. Therefore, this tuning fork that's attuned to the Aether would react strongly to this energy here.
That is
Like a
correct.
compass.
And with your understanding, it isn't necessarily a compass. This is where your tuning fork is attuned to.
Oh,
Attempting to destroy it would destroy the tuning fork.
Aha.
nice.
Yeah. But you understand that this thing is meant here for permanence. That leads to a bunch more questions. Who set it up? Why is it here? How was it found? Etc. But as far as you're aware, this is where your tuning fork is attuned to. Its purpose, otherwise, lies unclear outside of that.
Just out of interest, where did you get that tuning fork?
My organization sent it to me for clearing out the Mormon nest.
It was given to you as a gift after you completed your planar travel thesis, which was when you learned plane shift. And they sent it to you as a gift as a result of clearing out the Mormon lair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's possible that they know something about what this is, given how long it seems to be intended to last. Could be that
Probably.
there is no recorded information left.
Yes. I could ask about that later.
Hmm.
You say
The
that
mem-
quite well.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, it was just a bit.
Oh.
It's just a joke bit. You sure?
Yes.
You say that, Queglod, but when people start saying around, "Oh, it'll last for 100,000 years," that doesn't mean it couldn't have been set up yesterday.
That would have created problems with the tuning fork, since the fork is older than.
Ah, timey-wimey bullshit, my dear. Timey-wimey bullshit. If the Feywilds can do it, why can't the Aether?
I want to say that that's silly, but I'm unfortunately unable.
The vision that I had when I was dead, Chris.
Yeah. Which one?
What kind of city did I see? The one where I went to the ether when I was dead.
Oh, that one. It was a large city, otherwise constructed of iron in a series of several spires. Some spiraling, almost like a unicorn's horn. Others straight up like shards of glass just jammed into the ground, but the city itself was entirely made of iron. A massive wall wrapping around the outside, a number of individuals moving around on the surface, but it was hard to tell. The nature of it was monolithic, absolutely massive in the environment.
It was on the ground, right?
Yes, it was.
It
It was on the ground. It was surrounded by a sea of iron sand.
Need to find a giant city. The one I saw.
Right.
Could you try and fly up as Felipe and see if you could see anything? Queglod.
Is Felipe back yet?
I mean,
You took a long rest, so he
took
has
a long
returned.
rest.
Yeah. I can give that a go.
Just see if you could see anything in the distance.
Okay. I can only communicate with Felipe with when he's within about 100 feet.
Giving him orders, yes. You can still give him a command such as fly up, see what you can see, then fly back, and he'll remember it.
Okay.
So you can
But
give
if
a
I need
chain
him to
of
fly
commands.
around.
If you need him to fly around, you then have to wait till he comes back and then give him the order. Seeing through his eyes, on the other hand, you can see as long as he's not on another plane of existence.
Okay. How long do you want to do this for? You can.
I
If
mean,
you just want me to send him straight up, then you can do that
send
first.
them do a circle around us, 100 feet out. See if you can see anything in the distance.
Okay, that shouldn't take too long. Right, I will give him the order to fly up.
Do a 100-foot radius
Okay.
lap around.
Yeah,
Go
as
ahead.
far as he can go, that he can still see the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check, please. For Felipe.
Leave.
For Felipe? There was only one
For
Felipe
Felipe.
earlier.
Uh-huh.
That's a 10 total.
Okay. Felipe flies up, gets a look around. Can't seem to see much. The area around here is just barren sand in all directions. Lightly rolling hills, few rocks here and there, and otherwise shards of weaponry scattered around. But from what Felipe lets you know, there are hundreds of thousands in all directions. This place goes on and on.
Weird. Okay, so this doesn't seem to have quite worked out, Bern. Do you want me to maybe... I don't know.
Chris, does
Mhm.
can you reverse search for an object in the ether? Like if you have the
Reverse search as in throw something away and then lose it? Or...
No. So if you have the original, find the copy of it in the ether.
In the instance, in this instance, it only works from the ether to the material because it reacts to the material version. The material version doesn't necessarily react to the ethereal version. However, anybody who does happen to own a copy of any of your weapons now feels a slight drawing to your location.
So whoever has the other parts of lore and scholar are reacting to it.
Correct. Unless they're otherwise jammed into the ground, in which case they won't.
Shit. I need to find the city. I don't know how.
Right, so tell us what you can about this city, okay? You said it's made of sand?
Made out of iron, completely. Monolithic.
And then the sand is rust sand.
Rust,
right?
Iron sand, yes.
I've got an idea, but it's a bit weird.
You're a bit weird, my dwarf.
Right, so, the sand we're standing on right now, is that the same kind of sand, or is that just different sand?
Seems like the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
looks pretty much the same.
Okay, so, essentially, this is a plane that is made entirely out of metal.
Yes,
At least partially.
mostly yes.
I've got a weird relationship with metal. I could try and sense through the metal to find out where this city is. I can't guarantee it'll work, but it's worth a shot.
Kind of far-fetched, but you could try.
Look, if you've got a better idea, I'm happy to do anything else, but just I'm thinking.
At the moment, not really so.
Yeah. Okay, so Sasha's gonna just get down and put their hands directly into the sand. Dig it in a little bit, and try and use the weird metallurgy sense that I've used previously to try and see if there's anything that could even give me a hint as to where this vast metallic city would be.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d20. As you otherwise dig your hands into the sand, kind of slightly shifting them, the sand rolls over. It's warm but dry as you keep your hands there. Slight little bits of sweat almost bead off and into the sand, but doesn't seem to have any effect. As you sense the sand and try to listen into it, it's just white noise. You kind of pull your hands back out of the sand. They have no sense of creation, no sense of being. It's strange. Most metals, most minerals will have a sense of what they want to become or what they can be shaped into, given the natural composition of things. It's just white noise here.
It's not going to work. It's probably because the Aether is a place of pure creation, in a way. So I can't even begin to feel what the metal wants, because it can be and want to be anything. Is that a reasonable assumption to make?
It's sound logic.
Yeah, cool. Doesn't matter if it's real, as long as it sounds cool.
Bern, please roll me a d10.
D10.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
that's scary.
2. And if somebody else would be so kind as to roll me a d10, I will say Elsyan, seeing as you've been quiet.
What? Me? What? Yeah, fair.
Huge pile.
And there's a pile, so he gets to... Oh, did you just roll... Oh, he rolled one of the percentile die. 5. Okay.
No percentile die. It's a D10, just the singles.
Orange.
Just orange, yeah.
Orange D10s, what?
They're, it's the D100 dice, but he just rolled the single digits ones.
Yeah. I should probably have a set of those just over here, because I do occasionally use them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Carry on.
That's ominous.
Okay,
then.
right. Chris could be doing the thing, which is he just gets okay, he's gone a step further from the just roll dice and see if your players notice to make things ominous, to making us roll dice. Hasn't quite gone, everyone roll me perception. Someone's getting out of 20 and he just goes, okay.
Carry.
That is a
Right.
tactic that I love and I do use.
Okay. Well, we've got all day to search. What other means? I can keep having Philippe.
There's no animals in this place, right? Like, absolutely nothing.
Roll me a history or nature check. Probably a history, given it probably quite high.
Nature. They're the same.
Was
I don't have proficiency in history.
okay.
I have 18.
18. From what you understand of the ether, there are animals. They're just entirely made of steel. They're typically more like they typically class more like constructs. You do know that there are creatures that live here that are made of flesh, but they're rare and or they've adapted to the land so much that they no longer look like animals of flesh. It's, from what you understand, most of the things that live here are made of hardened iron or have at least some form of layer around them that's iron or mineral.
I've not got much here.
What about geography? Does this place have any, or is it just?
It's mostly flat land with rolling hills. There are rocks scattered about. Besides the notable, like, orb or dome that you're attuned to, it doesn't look like there's much in any direction. Could have been missed. Could be just that you're not close enough. You're not sure.
All right. I say we get up as high as we can and then try and look ourselves, because it's possible Felipe just missed something.
It's possible. I could have him try to do a wider radius. As I said, we have all day.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Right. I'm going to instruct Felipe to go up to roughly the same height, or possibly a bit higher, and then go out in like a spiral.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another perception check for Felipe, please.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have him do this for, I guess, a couple hours?
A couple hours? Okay. Do you want to ambly wander in a direction, or do you want to...
Yeah, I guess that would help.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll. Okay.
Better, that's a 22.
Bern, please roll me another d10.
Okay.
We want a high or low, by the
Oh,
way.
give me a better roll. I want to lucky that so badly.
That's why I'm using d10s.
Can you not lucky a D10 if you're
I'm gonna lucky
specifically
it.
doing it to fuck you over?
I'm gonna lucky you, Chris.
You can't, it's d20s only. I did double check.
Damn it.
Prevents you from luckying d100 rolls as a cleric. That's an older
Oh,
edition.
so
That's an
you're gonna want
older
me to-
edition thing.
I can't wait for the
do that.
final boss battle where Chris goes, alright, Infernal, you're rolling D10s now for hits. What?
It is just
You're
add your
twice
modifier.
as likely to get a crit.
Also,
Twice as
No,
likely,
no,
I guess I'm
no, find a crit is on a dice roll of a 20, and as it's impossible on D10, crits are impossible.
it only doubles your failure chance.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway. As Felipe is flying
Stop giving him
around, you,
ideas.
you wander for about an hour or two, just wandering around. You don't see much. It's getting dry, and given the nature of how things are, you have water skins, you begin to drink them down, and you're getting through them relatively quickly. The area here is very, very dry. Probably never rains here, and hence why there's no plants or anything, no greenery. It is blank, irony colours with mixtures of rust here and there, with a bright red sky overhead, and the occasional cog just disappearing off into the distance.
Oh, we have create water and the create water stick now thing.
Exactly. You also have the decanter of endless water that Malcom has, so you are okay in terms of getting water.
And I have a jar that can shit out honey.
Perfect.
Whether that will help is another matter, but yes. As you...
It's liquidy.
It is. You keep moving, your rat friend keeping pace. There are several times when Felipe lands to convey information that he attempts to grab Felipe. He learns very quickly not to. As he's otherwise looking around, you watch as he pulls a leg from his backpack and just begins to tear into it. You move around, and after about 2 hours, you note that it's getting a little bit darker, where it's past midday now. And you wait and watch as Felipe flies part of the arc round, and immediately takes a right turn and heads back to you, despite your previous order saying to spiral. Felipe flies down and lands on your shoulder, and conveys the information that he has spotted what looks to be a large hole, about an hour and a half's travel away from your location in the direction you're headed.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm down
Bern,
the hole.
Felipe's found something. It's a big hole.
I also.
Don't know if this is relevant to your city.
What was the total of the perception check? 19 plus what?
22.
Plus 3, so 22.
22. The nature of the hole being this large suggests that it's probably at least a mile wide.
That's big. That's big enough for a city.
What? The city was on the ground, though.
Well,
Maybe it's...
Even
Maybe
if this isn't, even if this isn't the same city, it could be a source of some information.
Yes, it still might be. It's still worth checking out. Is the first
We have
thing
no
we
other
did.
lead, so
Yes. Shall we head over that way then? I still have him do the same things around while we're heading.
yes, he'll keep looking.
Okay.
Right, so it's over in
Elsyan,
that direction.
what?
make me a D10 roll, please.
I am suspicious.
That's fair.
I am suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
7.
Yeah,
Okay.
suspicious.
As you're wandering along, Felipe again returns back down to you. This one, I'll say the perception check carrying over. As you're moving in the direction, he comes back down to you, letting you know about the hole, and it's getting closer. As Felipe begins to fly back up, Felipe stops and immediately just begins to hover. You're within range to communicate with him.
What, me?
No, Queglod.
Okay.
Felipe seems to have stopped.
It's broken
Okay.
down.
I'll ask him what's going on.
What? Had something broken your bird?
Felipe, what's happening?
Something. Up ahead.
I'd like to look through his eyes.
Okay. You look through his eyes and you see what looks to be this large, almost white porcelain human form. It trundles along, just ever so slightly dragging what looks to be these large hands behind it. You see that it is a completely white sheen with light runes across the surface of it, with a sandy texture across its total form. You see its right shoulder, you see these shards hovering almost away from its shoulder where it moves forward. It looks from left to right, a completely smooth face. No details, no nothing, no sight of eyes. Spikes going back along the side from its head bit. As it moves up, you watch as it looks over, as it just scans the area, looking left and right, just passing by. Do you continue watching it? It's not trundling in your direction, just as another note.
No, I would like to briefly drop back into my own body, describe this to him.
Okay.
And then
Is it heading back towards us, or?
No, it's ambling off in another direction.
From this description, do any of us have any idea what this could be?
Anyone who has proficiency in Arcana can make a check with disadvantage.
Either
What about
construct or
religion?
Ether.
Chris, what about religion? You were in a different plane. That's the religious place of a god. That makes sense, right?
No.
Disadvantage?
Right.
Disadvantage if you're proficient in Arcana, yes.
9.
Yep.
Sorry.
So that's a 10 for me.
10, and Elsyan? I believe you're proficient.
Come on, Elvian.
So
2 nat 20s.
with advantage.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. 2 nat 20s. Come on. 1.
Elsyan, you are preoccupied watching the rat as he tears into another leg. Bern, 10. Bern and Queglod, neither of you recognize this kind of creature. It's out of your spectrum of understanding.
The thing's alive. It might be
Have
able
we
to give us
seen an
information.
Etherborn in this campaign, Chris?
You haven't, no. Regardless, you'd know what an Etherborn is. Etherborn are steel coloured with purple veins.
Yeah.
This thing is white.
How big did you say this thing was, by the way?
Probably about 13 to 15 feet tall.
Okay.
Its large hands just dragging behind it as it moves up. You watch it. You watch as it scans. You watch as its head almost snaps in place as it moves over to one particular weapon. and you watch as its large right hand almost shrivels and sinks back into it, folding in on itself like a strange, almost lamprey-like mouth, before it opens up into this fleshy pink maw, teeth rising out of where the hand used to be. And you watch as the mouth wraps around the weapon, digging into the sand as it uproots it. You watch as the mouth swallows it, and this almost orb of energy travels down the arm, and you watch as another spike appears on its shoulder. You watch in that moment, the large mouth reverts back to a hand, and it continues to trundle forwards.
Okay, I will drop out again.
Weapon.
It appears to be consuming the ether ones. Does
I
that-
dislike this greatly.
Does that mean anything to you?
I haven't heard of anything like this.
It looked like it was looking for specific ones.
Hmm.
Must have some degree of intelligence then.
If it knows what it's looking for, it might be able to
flying
communicate,
such
or
food.
it might just attack us.
Well, we've not exactly got much else going for us at the moment, so...
How far away is it?
From you, probably about 100 feet, just over the crest of the small hill you're going up.
Right.
Or
We
over the
try-
crest and down the other side, I should specify.
It doesn't appear to have any eyes. So if it has a way of detecting us, it's not going to be based on line of sight. Possibly more likely distance. It's going to be the problem. So if we give this thing a wide berth, it shouldn't be able to detect us.
Well, the thing is, if we want to contact it or not.
That's true.
I think we should. I mean, it's the only thing
Okay.
alive that we've come across.
Its movements didn't suggest to me that it had a great deal of independent thought, very focused on the task.
I am going to say we are in a realm that we do not know much about, no offense, Bern. And we don't know what this creature is. If we end up having to fight...
That's fine. One point of note, I did make a mistake. It's actually 8 to 9 feet tall, not as tall as I said it was. It's a medium creature, not large.
Okay.
Apparently.
If we end up having to fight this thing, and that gets us in shit with Bern's god dad, or whatever he is,
No,
I'd
no,
really not enjoy that.
No, never mind, it is large. Just the stat block's different.
What is it?
Stop saying these things, Chris. You're making me nervous.
It's like he says this just to make you nervous. Just to
No,
give you
I
hope.
looked at the stat block and it's... I looked
away.
at the stat block and it says medium, and I was like, wait, I'm sure this thing was large. And I've looked back and it is large. Not according to what I've written down on my notes of it. So I made that slight alteration.
I'd say we'd still want to try and approach it or follow it.
Yeah, as it stands, we're just ambly wandering around. It's the first living thing we've seen.
Okay, not if it takes us away from the hole, because I feel like the hole has to be our I don't want to say goal now.
If it is indeed
The hole is a
living
goal.
in that way as well, it could be some sort of automaton.
If it's on our way
Yes.
towards there, I'm okay with that. Chris, is it,
Follow
is
it
it,
while also heading towards the hole.
Hold on. Sasha, what were you saying?
is it in between us and the hole?
You could give a wide berth. The hole's a mile wide or something similar, so you could give a very wide berth if you really wanted to.
Okay, but we could.
It's not heading towards the hole. It's eventually, if you were to stay here for maybe half an hour, it would potentially wander off your path to a point where you can't see it. So
I don't think we should confront it, but if you go and confront it, of course I'll go along and help.
I don't. This is going to end badly.
Okay,
I'm up for trying.
let's be cautious.
Yeah, fair.
It may well be that it can't perceive us or communicate with us at all. In which case we can just move.
To the hole.
If it is something with a set task, it may not like us interrupting that task.
We shouldn't make any attempt to be hostile or get in its.
Let's just stay our path and not try and confront it and just sort of see what happens.
That
sound
seems like
okay?
the best idea.
Cool. Right, off we go.
So, how are you proceeding with this?
Our course does not directly intersect with it, right?
No.
It's just sort of roughly there.
Yeah.
Then I think we're just sort of continuing our course. We're not exactly going to be confronting it in like, tell us where the city is, but we're also not going to be like hiding from it.
We're gonna be like looking where it goes, which way, but while also heading towards the hole.
I think what Sasha was trying to say is we're going to walk up to it like normal people.
Okay.
Not
So-
like
Yeah.
fucking insane adventures.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
So
we're walking past it, but so that it has the opportunity to see us, right?
I thought we were I don't know what we're doing.
Are you approaching it? Are you being skeptical and just travelling past, or are you giving a wide berth?
It's sort of the middle option, as far as I understood it.
So going your path, but giving it the opportunity to see you.
Yes.
In which case, you wander past, heading over the crest of the hill, and travelling down. It just ambles through, kind of giving a look, scanning left and right. You watch as it's kind of dragging its hands. You watch as you're kind of travelling down the sand and just travelling along. The form turns its head. The head portion of it looks at you. It looks back, and you watch as its head kind of scans across each of you, and just kind of keeps on moving in the direction
Hello?
it's headed.
Ooh, my internet's bad.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Infernal?
We can hear you.
Hello? Okay. My internet was bad. You guys all cut out for like 5 seconds.
Oh, okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Okay, you wander past, it saw you, and it's otherwise going about its task.
So he took a look at us and then
It took a look at you, it noted your presence, but then proceeded to carry on with what it was doing.
Just a real quick thing. At what distance roughly did it notice us?
When you got to about the 50 foot mark.
Yeah. If this thing doesn't have eyes, I'm assuming blind sight or tremor sense or something.
Of some form, it seems.
Wow.
Well, do we want to try and get closer? See if we're
Well, I
with it
mean,
in any way,
it's,
or just
it's
keep
not
moving?
shown any hostile intent.
True. Mm.
I mean,
We
we
could
can
try and
approach it
watch.
slowly and just
Yeah.
take its body language.
Yeah, if it seems like it's bothered, then we'll continue heading towards the hole.
That seems like a good idea.
You're going to begin traveling towards it?
Huh?
Did you say you were going to
Yeah,
begin
I'm
traveling
not-
towards it? And just reading its
I'll go
language?
towards it and
Yeah.
see if they like what it does.
Okay. I'd like 2 people to make me insight checks, please.
I'll do one.
Fuck it. What's the worst that can happen?
It's +6.
So 14, and Elsyan?
How about the other one? That is plus much. Oh fuck, a close crime. Bear with me.
Rawr. Okay. As you begin to travel towards it, it notes your presence and it turns to face you. You watch as both of its hands rupture into these massive maws, as it otherwise holds them present, and you watch as runes begin to glow across the teeth as it casts a spell on itself. But holds itself present. It doesn't seem to be attacking. It's making a gesture of defending itself.
19, by the way, Chris.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be willing to attack. It's currently waiting to see what you do. If you engage, it's prepared.
Friendly wave.
Raise my hand up.
Oh,
You've
Infernal,
gone
you're
quiet
quiet.
again, Bern.
Sorry about that, fuck. I didn't mean to hold my button down.
Holds button down while beating Mike.
Hands in the air like we're not trying to fight it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me persuasion checks, you two. Or one of you with advantage.
Burn with advantage.
Okay.
Christ, me rolling persuasion ain't a plan anyone wants to have.
And that's a quite a high roll.
Okay.
Somehow I'm
19 plus what?
persuasion.
That's a 30. No, wait. Yeah, that's a 30.
A 30. You raise your hands, you watch as it immediately like cocks its head to one side. You watch as one of the maws immediately just disappears back into where its wrist is. Its hand snaps back, and it lifts up its right hand almost in like a greeting manner, but it says nothing.
How far are we at this point?
Hmm?
How far are we from it at this point?
About 30 feet. If you wish to get closer, you can.
Like slowly getting closer.
Okay. It keeps its left arm converted into the large maw blade, but it doesn't react. It just seems to accept that you're getting closer to it.
Can it hear me at this point?
Presumably.
Can you respond?
What language do you say it in?
Oh, fuck.
Ethereal.
Ethereal is not a language. Sadly.
I've got the
At
image
least
of
I don't think it is.
got the image of
I'll
restaurant.
say it in common. Does it seem to...
It
Understanding?
nods its head before you you watch as it stands there. It lifts what looks to be a bag, like a small bag, from underneath the armor plating by its right thigh, lifts it up and just holds it in its right hand, takes out what looks to be this strange bluish bead, holds it up to its forehead, and you watch as it otherwise sinks into the forehead, and you hear this wording begins to speak in your mind, Bern. Why do you call to me?
What are you? We
Does
are...
that matter?
We're not from here. I am looking for a city.
Fleshlings in this land are scarce. I know not of a city. I tend to avoid them.
Do you have any information of where we can find one?
You watch as the creature looks up at the sky almost expectedly. No. But get there before dark.
What happens at the dark?
Yes.
It turns its head towards you, Elsyan, and speaks to you.
So I forgot what language are they talking in?
It's speaking in common.
Oh, thank God. Yes.
Yeah. This specifically is telepathy, so it can still reach you.
Good. Just
To which, I don't know why its telepathy is longer than its blind sight. I guess it can communicate with creatures outside of its vision. Okay.
well, it's sort of like it's got its own inbuilt walkie-talkie.
Yeah, I guess. To which point it replies, "The fleshlings come out."
You called us fleshlings.
Different ones. Stranger, more violent.
Doubt that.
What is that hole over there?
I'd stay away from that. That's the fleshling hive.
Like, guys, I figured out what that hole is. It's their version of our immense ravine.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Unfortunately, that's entirely possible.
And at the bottom of it, it's a portal to the actual real world.
The
Material plane.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. We can use this. Rook, you go first.
Rook,
I'll do-
away!
How do you avoid them?
And you watch as both of its arms rupture into these massive maws, and you watch as it digs them into the ground and begins shoveling dust over itself. It digs a hole to sleep in.
Classic.
I can.
Genuinely, this is the coolest and most horrific thing I've ever seen.
I'll show you its tile.
I'm glad it's not fighting
Have
us.
its time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's face it. Chris needed a tile in case we were idiots.
oh yeah, of course.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I love it and I hate it. It's beautiful.
Okay, right. I want everyone to just imagine masturbating with that thing.
Oh
You're
my
unwelcome.
god.
No, I can't do that.
So this is the sort of thing I look at. What a chaos.
The one thing that
Bam,
I'm
bam.
looking at is the middle plate of its armor where his
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
there.
just to hide the
That's
dick.
quite
yes.
a shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
It perfectly hides its dick. Okay. Now,
That's
now,
a perfect silhouette.
before we go any further, there is one incredibly important question that Sam has brought up that we have to answer.
Go on.
Would it count as a hand job or a blow job?
These are important questions.
Why not both?
And I think this is the answer.
Would that be a hoe job or a bland job?
No, just stop.
I think it'll
Hopefully
be
not bland.
You
I mean, it would explain his giant maws.
you watch as it pulls itself out of the hole which it just made, and it looks at you all. You watch as it reaches into its bag once again and pulls out what looks to be a coin, a gold coin. In exchange for 50 gold, I can tell you the direction to the road that's most recently travelled. But that is the most direction I can give you.
50 gold's a bit steep.
What would you
Then
do
have
with 50
fun
gold?
finding it.
I take
Okay,
that 50
okay.
gold.
Fair. Fair point. I like your
Fair.
negotiation tactic. But the whole sort of
I will-
thing
I
going-
wouldn't expect you to be trading for coin.
Coin has uses. I imagine each of you are skilled in your own manner, and I don't think you'd part with any of your magical items.
True.
He's got us there.
Yeah.
Use
Oh, a
coin.
bunch of
Might I?
worse than
Might I?
jackets.
Okay. Can you guarantee that this road that has been travelled will lead us towards at least a city?
Most likely. Roads lead between cities, do they not?
Well, that's true on the material, but I'd rather have some level of surety.
I am quite interested. Where would you use coin if you ignore the cities?
Not here.
Not here.
Yeah.
You watch as he turns his head, and you watch as his head kind of stops on the Morbin. Where he comes from.
Ah, this guy is this kind of guy. Okay.
Yes, the material plane.
Sort of.
Your general understanding is no.
Let's see. Well, thank you for the information. I give him 50 gold.
You watch as he takes it and just puts it in the small bag, tucks it back on the underside of the armor, and you watch as he turns and points behind him in a off direction to where you were headed, almost a kind of a 80-degree angle-ish from where you were walking, if you were to turn right, and just points that way.
How far?
You'll see it when you get there. But be careful and travel quickly. Things come out to play at night.
Alright.
Well,
All right.
let's go then.
And you watch as he turns and begins to scan the horizon as he otherwise wanders off, his hands transforming back into hands as he wanders.
I'm just gonna yell, "Good luck!"
From what distance?
I don't know, like 30 foot at this point.
Okay, yeah, he
Just
is
like-
there. Okay.
Alright, we should get there fast. We don't want to find out where these fletchlings are.
Okay.
Does Malcolm have cloud walk?
Wind walk.
Yeah.
He should do. I mean, I don't know if he has.
If he hasn't changed his spells.
He does. He just doesn't have a description for it. So you know the rules on that.
Oh well, that's that then.
We
We're running.
know what it does.
You know
No,
what it
rules.
does, but the rules are if it's not filled in, you don't get to use it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt with scrying, which I told him previously to fill in. So if you don't fill out your spells, I don't use them.
Chris has been incredibly clear with that.
Yeah, he has. Very clear.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Do we have familiars? Does someone familiars thing? Or is that not filled in either?
Conjure animals.
Conjure.
Wait,
He can. I believe Conjure Animals is one that is. Yeah, Conjure Animals is filled in. Lasts for an hour, but he'd need to use it at a higher level in order to accompany or accommodate for each of you.
so just what are we trying to achieve here?
Get to the road as fast as possible and try and get to the city.
Okay.
We could dig
Big
a hole.
Felipe can carry most of us.
About 10 minutes? Or is it an hour?
That's an hour. So we can cover reasonable distance.
You can carry all of us then, yeah. Because we don't have the two familiars with us.
Oh, so this would be a good time for a break if you guys want to discuss and figure out what you want to do. And for those of you who need to do a quick be right back, now would be a good time for that.
I'll go to the bathroom.
Take a quick 2 to 3 minute bio break, grab your snacks, drinks, whatever, and then we'll come back and continue discussing your plans.
BRB.
Right?
RB.
We just use the words "be right back." They're the same amount of syllables.
I know, right?
This and other whatchamacallit references, Brooklyn Nine-Nine references coming later.
Oh my god. Right.
Yes.
I'm curious to what these fleshlings are.
How long this expedition retreat take? Yeah, only lasts out to 10 minutes. Exposition retreat can only be cast on myself. It's a shame.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So how many people are we here?
With you? 7.
With me, 7.
2 small creatures and 5 medium. Felipe can carry the entire party nice and easily for an hour. If Malcom were to use Conjure Animals, he could conjure 4 CR1 giant eagles, or giant vultures as the case may be, and carry you for an hour.
What level spell is that?
That would be a 4th level spell to do that.
I think that's worth it. Should I have all of the spells?
Because Queglod can fly on her own, Malcom can fly on his own at the same speed as the... Actually, no, Malcom would still need a mount to actually keep up. Felipe would be fine, though, so Queglod would be fine on that front, just turning into Felipe. So you'd have Malcom, 2 small creatures, or no, 1 small creature, and then 4 others. So he'd need 5, because you'd need... No, Rook would need his own. Elsyan would be able to mount with Malcom. Sasha would be able to mount with Morven. So he'd need to cast it at 4th level for it to work.
And he should have all his spells, right?
Yeah, he does. He'll just be using them up.
Yeah, that's fine. And we'll see how far we get into hours. and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
So were you going to use conjure animals then, or were we using Felipe?
I mean, we can use Felipe first if Queglod's fine with that.
Felipe
or
is
we can
faster
use-
than the conjure animals. The main thing is that if you wanted to use conjure animals, it means that Felipe would be able to search at the same time as you traveling at decent speed.
Okay, and we'll go.
He would have disadvantage, but if you were to use Felipe while traveling on him, he probably wouldn't be able to, and one of you would have to with disadvantage.
Well, I guess we'll go with Felipe first then.
I'll wait till Simon gets back, obviously, to make that
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and wait for some of the others to get back.
Oh, God.
All right. Yeah, you avoided conflict with that thing. That's good.
We talked our way out of something, lads.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now we can talk our way out of everything. Never
That's
have
not
to
how
fight
it
again.
works.
Yeah, these things are wonderful creatures. Interesting.
Waters.
I'm reading through some of its stat block. Apparently, the giant Moorblade can be stolen.
What? How?
I don't know. It just says if it's ever stolen, it slowly starves to death.
Well,
Wait,
Take off
the Warblade?
Hmm?
The Warblade?
Yeah, the Moorblade.
was that thing that we just spoke
His
to?
mouth.
That's the mouth.
Yeah.
So if you
Still, it's
steal
metal.
her mouth, it's gonna starve.
Yeah. By the looks of it, it's if it's cut off. So if the arm is cut off and stolen, then it can't grow back.
I assume the spikes on his shoulders are its like life force then or something.
It's hard to tell.
Question.
Mhm.
What if you had a lot of aloe vera?
Okay. Yeah.
Would you prefer it just to shove a bottle of essential oils in the
No.
stub of its arm and it grows back? Because that's how that works, right?
No, that was
Is
entirely.
that right, Sam? That's how that works, Sam, right?
Okay, what I'm going to confirm is that aloe vera can fix many things. Not an entirely cut off limb. I
Don't see
was.
why not?
Okay, you know what, that was the last one. From me.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I can't speak for Harlan or Julia, though I don't.
Oh man.
No,
Anyway,
You can say that I'm going to hold on to this forever. It's fine.
now that everyone is back, what is your plan of action? Are you using conjure animals first, or are you using Felipe first? Felipe is much faster, but conjure animals is obviously it's a 4th level spell, as averse to a once per day thing.
Should we use Felipe? Queglod?
I'm perfectly happy to. Felipe is possibly more powerful in a fight, but the goal is to avoid that. So
Yeah.
Felipe can carry it. Chris?
Felipe can carry
Okay.
everybody. It would be Rook in one claw, Elsyan in the other, Sasha on the back, along with you and the Morbin, and then Bern. Oh, and Malcom as well, because he's a huge creature, so he can carry all of you.
Okay, that's fine. Right, I'm perfectly happy to do that, and then we can use conjure animals if we still haven't found.
Okay. Making large Felipe, your Morbin friend, is very much interested and concerned as he kind of thinks of all the scenarios if he'd eaten Felipe, what would have happened. You climb on. He's a little bit hesitant to get on Felipe, and Felipe's a little bit hesitant to have him on Felipe's back. But you otherwise climb on and you set off, flying into the sky. You soar, traveling the direction that you were pointed in. I'd like someone to make me a survival check, please, and another person to roll me a d10.
I'll do survival.
E10. Again.
Another d10.
16.
16, and the D10 result 8. That is one we have not had. Okay. As you travel forward, Rook, you kind of gauge the direction you're headed. It's difficult, given the landscape being so barren and no real markers, but you find that actually following the cogs is relatively helpful, and they seem to be traveling the same direction the wind is heading in, and you use them as a little bit more of a reference and guidance as to what direction you need to head, and following the wind direction as well. You travel at a good pace, continuing on in your direction. Would somebody like to roll me a perception check if they're keeping watch?
Yep.
Go ahead.
I will.
Multiple people there or one?
I'll say just one, given your situation.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that.
I'm probably busy.
Yeah.
That is just a 10, unfortunately. My
10?
active isn't as good as my passive.
Barren landscape. Not really much that catches your attention. You travel overhead, you keep traveling, at which point, go ahead and roll me another d10, given the distance and the speed at which you're traveling. Bern. 1. As you're traveling in that direction, you kind of begin to travel, and Felipe begins to fade as you see another large hole approaching on your left.
Yay! More holes.
God love a hole.
It's close to, if not in your direct path, if you wanted to go in that direction. At this point, Felipe fades, you land, knowing when the timer is. Cast Conjure Animals. Okay, knock that down. Casting Conjure Animals, summoning 4 giant vultures, and each of you being lifted or carried, you proceed to move on, travelling forward again at a slightly slower pace this time. I would like, given the situation here, 2 of you can perform perception checks if you wish, and somebody 1 survival check.
I'll do survival again.
I'll
Okay.
attempt another. I need to redeem myself. Got a +8, should be fine. 13.
I got a crit. I got like 30.
Okay. Natural 20, you're able to keep your path without getting lost, and 1 other person for a perception check.
Malcom, go.
Malcom? But Malcolm's distracted. He's piloting the giant vultures and making sure they follow the correct path.
Damn you, Chris, with your logic.
13.
Yeah.
Okay. Keeping a look around, you continue watching. You see the giant hole as it begins to kind of get closer and closer on your left. At this slow pace, you will be just beyond it when you need to land.
What's the time?
I'll say with your natural 20 on the survival check, it's getting close to about 5-6 p.m. and you're probably going to be landing around 6, at which point it's going to start getting dark.
Nice.
Interesting. This place has a normal
Day-night cycle.
Time.
a nice one. Yeah.
Yep.
That is genuinely interesting, given that we're on a completely different plane of existence.
Yep.
Hey guys, according to the speed and the time, we are landing right next to the hole as it starts getting night.
I see all the problems with this. We could just not.
Sign of the road.
From
Well,
what you can
we're heading
see,
in the right direction.
You haven't seen the road yet. Either it's a little ways off, or you don't know. Maybe he was lying. It's hard to tell.
Fuck, we're no one inside of it.
We didn't. Shit. Have we just been fooled by a weird mouth hand man?
I mean, if we did fair fucking play.
You know, he deserves it. He deserves it.
It was wrong in
We didn't insight. That's on us.
Easy money, boys.
You can go gamble it in the fucking purgatory or whatever.
I
Great
don't know.
insult for a devil.
We-
Jam it in your
we still-
purgatory.
How many
we
fourth
still in the
levels?
end?
He has 3 left.
Yeah, let's use another one. And after that, we'll continue, like,
On foot.
walking if we don't.
I mean, using one to get us a distance away from the hole.
Yeah,
would
just
probably-
get us away from the hole.
Okay.
And hope we don't get another hole
Okay.
on a D10.
Elsyan and Bern, please roll me d10s. Rook, another survival check, and then perception checks from 2 people, please.
Do you want me to help out,
Oh,
guys?
Another 7.
Yes, please.
More
I got
perceiving.
2.
More perceiving.
Okay, I'm getting better each time. That's a 15.
Oh, that is a chunk, big chunk.
Okay, and did you roll your
Big-
d10
big
as well,
chunk
Elsyan?
of-
Or do you want to roll it, Queglod?
It is a 22.
I'll give it a go. Why not?
You're good with the damage on the d10s, so you might get a really high roll.
True.
Lucky
22 on perception.
your
my
lucky
dude.
thing does not allow you to reroll a 1. Okay, 5.
That's fine.
22 on perception. Okay.
Yep.
You travel a good distance away from the hole, keeping on going. You land, you cast a spell, and you take off once again. The area around here is again that kind of sandish texture, the large pit that kind of caves in. Getting closer to being closer to this one, and the height you're traveling, you can see that the sand just proceeds to funnel in towards a smaller point, but the funneling in is very much a mile wide, almost like a giant antlion nest. As you continue traveling, kind of keeping an eye on the horizon, it's getting dark at this point, and it's difficult to see. As it begins to fade, you do spot with that perception. You spot another one of those strange white creatures, and you watch as it digs its maws into the ground and begins to bury itself.
Oh, shit.
Night is coming.
With the survival check that you have, Rook, what was your total? 2 plus...
It was 2. I got a 1.
Ah, right.
I went from 20 to a 1.
Okay. Given that it's getting dark, you can't follow the road. You're not entirely sure if you're going the right way or if there is a road anywhere nearby. You'd need to get closer to the ground for that. Do you wish
There's
to...
a giant hole, which, you know,
You've
me a
gone,
little bit
you've
nervous.
gone past the giant hole. Granted, you're still
Oh, okay.
technically within, like, a good distance of it, given it's a mile wide, but...
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's my 1
Right.
anyway.
Okay.
I see another one of those fucks
And it's gone.
with my dwarf eyes.
And
take
it's
us
gone as
down.
it gets dark.
Right.
Are you going,
Do you want me
are
to
you
just
going
build us a
down to
shelter
see
for
it?
the night?
Also, Bern, you got quiet again.
We'll go down to see where the path is.
Okay, we'll head
I think
downwards
we're
then.
gonna have to.
Okay. You soar and get closer to the ground. At this point, as you're kind of flying along and it's getting dark, you continue to travel. I would like more perception checks, please.
More
I'll
perception.
have another go because I'm not doing terrible on them so far.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 12.
Somebody else?
Anyone with a
Okay.
5 or a +5 or above?
I've got a +8, so we're getting slowly steadily higher each time. So
Okay.
10.
With your perceptions, given that it's dark, you can't see as far, but you continue to travel as you look close to the ground. There doesn't seem to be any defined road or anything in this vicinity as you're traveling. At which point, Malcom lets you know that you're going to have to land again. He can cast it again, but the vultures won't be able to see very far, and keeping close to the ground, you may hit hills. If there's a sudden
Okay,
rise in land and you hit it, the vulture's going down.
Right, let's land and make camp for the night. Infernal. Honestly, are you sure you want to do this? Because we can keep going for a day, but the salamander and Remus Wolf are back there with the homestone. That will have shut down by now.
Malcom made sure to give them food before he left, and it's a salamander. It's probably going to be able to take on anything that comes out of the swamp, unless it's like a dire troll. So
I know. I'm just concerned.
They should be good for a number of days. Plus, Remus knows how to hunt, so
That's true. That's true. I just worry. If we, I'd say, be ready to leave tomorrow. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, if we can't find anything when we wake up, like after a couple of hours, we'll head back.
Okay.
You
We
settle.
can always come back.
You settle
we
down.
need to get underground, though. Anyway, we could.
Yeah, don't worry, I've got a plan for that. Fabricate, baby!
How long is the casting time on that?
10 minutes.
Okay, noted. As you sit down and begin to fabricate in the sand, those with passive perceptions high enough, which would be Elsyan and Malcom, and Jamie and Queglod, you've got Felipe up, don't you?
Yeah.
What it's a +3 with Felipe, isn't it?
It's a +5 because it's a charisma modifier.
Okay, so at the moment your passive perception's high enough, and sorry, Rook, your passive perception isn't high enough here. Sorry.
No, it wouldn't be.
Yours would be Harlan, however, you're concentrating on a spell, so you have disadvantage, which is an effective +5 to your passive perception. Because you're concentrating on casting a spell. You begin to hear shifting in the sand before you begin to hear.
Oh. What's he doing in his hole?
You hear that nearby.
Could you hurry up?
Okay, I'm back. Hello? What's
Okay.
going on?
You hear clicking and some kind of weird screeching nearby. You've got 8 minutes left of your cast.
Should we have Malcom transform into an Earth Dragon and speed things up?
Malcom, being relatively understanding of how this will work, it's sand. Sand will cave in on itself. There's a reason those poles are a mile wide from just a small hole.
A
That's
small
'cause
hole
sand.
formed, sand will constantly try to fill in, and then when the sand leaves, something else will try to fill in where the sand was.
How is
Exactly.
it going to work with Fabricate then?
Essentially, I'm going to be transmuting all of the iron into iron.
Okay.
In other words, a solid box.
Yeah.
Or something
Basically,
similar.
Right.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm
Wait.
going to have Felipe scout.
Okay.
He has level sight,
Yep, that's fine.
and he is a small black bird.
So he will be nearly
In
impossible to see.
darkness.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check for Felipe, please.
Okay, yeah, he's circling around. He's doing a relatively tight radius, but beyond what we could normally see. It's a 13 for Felipe.
Okay. As you begin to kind of look around as Felipe flies up, Felipe begins to see these things as well. As Felipe looks out, you can see what look to be almost black-formed humanoids. Their skin dark as tar, but with what looks to be gold and silver and iron embellishments wrapping over the form of their skin, which otherwise lies as raw, thick hide. You see their head is otherwise smooth, bar a set of large fangs on the front of their face, 4 arms with large deadly claws as they begin to crawl forward. Felipe sees about 27 of them in the current vicinity as one of them kind of lifts its head up and begins to click. Felipe notices more coming from the distance. Many more.
Oh!
They have you surrounded.
Nice. Well,
Where was the white guy? Let's bring them to him.
He's a ways back because you flew a little bit extra rather than going down to him. So he's about 20 minutes of flight time
Way
away.
to go down. All right. Yeah. So how long have I got left on my cast?
7 minutes at this point.
Right.
At which
right.
point you hear the sound. Each of you begins to feel a slight rumble. As Felipe looks out, you can see 10, 20, 50, 100 more running towards your current location of these things. At which point, one of them crests a nearby hill, and you hear a as one of them begins to run and dive towards you. I'd like you all to roll initiative, please.
Oh,
I would like you to do the following here. There is no map. Go ahead and place yourselves in the nearby vicinity.
I'm just going to say this. I can get rid of a lot of these fuckers, but I do not want to be here, and I do not like this at all.
Guys, have we come to the conclusion that
Just-
any plane that isn't the material plane is shit?
Well,
Depends. This one's
this
one's pretty nice, unless it's nighttime. As is the
No.
fate.
No, we're playing
I got
Minecraft
a
modern.
9.
If we come back, we'll just have to bring one of those sky ships.
Okay, so 25 to 20.
I know I can play the remnants of one,
I
but not in
have,
character.
So I'll roll for Malcolm.
I have a 21.
Malcolm.
I
gets-
has 21.
So we got two 21s. What's that?
Yeah.
So
Well, I've
yep.
got. Yep.
I've got a
Rook's
21.
and Queglod's got 21. Okay. So if you would be so kind as to place yourselves where you would like to go, I'll say anywhere in this general vicinity here. This is your lineup. You two place yourselves as you have highest initiative. Sasha, you haven't
I
been
will-
called in the initiative yet.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, since I'm basically out of this fight because I'm focusing on the spell, should I just be in a central point and just
I'll say
sort of-
yeah. Use Sasha as a basis of where you'd be.
Okay.
Okay.
Here then.
20 to 15.
16.
16 on Bern. 15 to 10. 10 to 5. 5 to 0.
4.
Wow.
Sasha?
Wait.
You still need to roll for initiative because I still need to know when your turn is.
It was a 9.
Sorry, Chris, I got my thing wrong. It's a 5.
Oh,
Oh.
still. Okay, time for me to roll for them. Okay. What is there of...
It's gonna take a while to roll like 2,000 dice, guys, so I'll be right
No.
back.
They're in groups, you know that.
We're gonna die.
Just need to give them the 3 groups, which are the usual colours.
Okay, we are not going to die.
Boys,
Got enough AoE to deal with it.
What
Do we
thousands
know?
of these?
7th level fireball.
7th level, fuck me. Destroy
And...
Infernal.
Hello there. Here's for a singular nuclear bomb.
Ooh, that's a rough roll for that one. He's definitely going last.
Wait,
It's in the negatives.
God.
It was a
guys, is there a
bad...
negative dex score if they're able to get in the negatives?
Or a natural 1 because they're classed as ability checks, so a natural 1 is
Oh,
still...
you're -5, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's rough. Okay. Well, it's top of the round. Queglod and Rook. At this point, you can see that there are a number of them within range. Let me just change the music.
did we move ourselves to the thing, or by the way, or
Oh yes. Once you, so who is next in the initiative order? Bern, please place yourself. Then I'll say Malcom and I'll put Malcom here, just so he's covering a bit more of an angle. And then Elsyan, if you'd be so kind as to place yourself in this kill circle.
go in the middle, Elsyan? Come on.
Let's face it, I'm stood right next to
I
Sasha,
don't need this, this, or this.
protecting my dwarf.
Your dwarven dwarf.
Your friend.
Yeah, well, dwarves are weird.
Oh, I forgot I needed to do that. Hold on.
Actually, do I
There's
technically need to call you my dwarf friend as in
There's something.
girlfriend?
There's something wrong with this stat block. Give me a moment.
Ah, yes, the fat block says it does 200 d6 damage.
It says that it has 1. I forgot to change it.
I'm fine with that, honestly.
I'm not talking about the little ones.
Oh, glorious.
Oh, great. There's bigger ones, guys.
Leave Hill, they said. Go to the Aether, they said. It'll be safer, he said. As we get
Okay,
mobbed by a
right.
goddamn army.
Again, we took a quarter of the damage that we would have taken leaving hell, and it was 33 damage.
He has a point.
We
That
would
is-
be okay. Elsyan would
Would've-
be dead.
He'd have died instantly.
I would have
Yeah, he would.
burnt up to a point where even a Turan would have gone, "Oh, fuck you."
Fuck that.
I mean, we don't know that happens. That might just be an Aether thing. There is a distinct possibility that it was just because it was the
Something,
Aether.
something to note: hazards are on the way out, not on the way in.
Yeah. The
Okay.
problem is hell itself. I may be metagaming here, but Chris told me so.
Fair.
What? That it's dangerous leaving?
Yeah, that. If I remember correctly, I think I also know the damage that was done as well, if I remember. I'm not going to split all that for the others.
No, that's fine. Okay. In the current situation, as you stand, you are currently surrounded by sand with Sasha casting in the center. Top of the initiative, Queglod and Rook. You two can see these things off in the distance. While you sort that out, or decide what you two are going to do, you can discuss. I'm going to quickly spawn in some tiles for them, because I might need a lot of these.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, if Sasha's spell actually goes off, they're pretty much aware we're here, right? I mean, is Sasha casting this now in vain?
Probably.
A little bit, but also, we need some form of safe shelter, and because I don't know. Chris has said there are hundreds of these things. I don't know if we can take out hundreds.
I will say I don't know if we can hide.
True, but I can make a solid metal box for us to hide in. And
How much longer is that going to take?
A while.
Because I have 3 spell slots.
But a hell of a lot of Eldritch Blasts.
Actually, I think you'll find the correct term for the amount of Eldritch Blast Queglod has is a Shadowfell of Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. Okay. Chris, just from a basic knowledge standpoint,
Just so you can see these.
if I make a metal box, will we be able to be safe from these things?
You
Don't
can,
know what they're using.
You can make a roughly, given the space and the way that it works, you can make, I believe it's 5 connected 10-foot segments. So you'd be able to make some form of metal box, but whether it would go under you would be another matter. So if the box could be lifted up, or if it could be borrowed or lifted or something similar, you'd be in a difficult situation.
Because I can make things, my intention was sort of like form a bunker out of the sand beneath us, and then just open up a hatch.
Keep in mind, you will have to go 70 rounds of combat.
Yeah, all right, fine. I'm not.
I'm just letting you know
casting
that.
the spell.
You can do that on your turn. Queglod and Rook, you see these things around you. They are beginning to swarm. You can hear them clicking and shouting to one another.
I just have the next time.
Okay.
Might we share the joke?
Sasha's gone hysterical.
Okay, good.
Okay,
I'll
what
see
are
it.
you two
Slap her.
doing? It's your turn.
I hate to be the one to initiate violence, but it seems fairly clear these guys are going to attack us, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'm going to start blasting.
Okay.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Where are you going to fire them?
In, I guess, this sort of direction. Is this? This isn't like literal.
This is literal at the moment because the rest of the 100 haven't arrived yet. So these are the early numbers before I start pulling the rest of these off of the side here.
Okay. Well, I will start with this one. If that one happens to go down, we don't know how tough these guys are. The ones around.
Okay. So you're going to fire how many Eldritch Blasts at that one? 2,
Well,
3,
I mean, I have
1?
3, so
3? Okay, go ahead and roll me 3 attack rolls, please.
okay. Well, can I do the first one and then see if it hits, or see if it goes down?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Emergency split firing.
Yes, I was about to just say no.
Declare
Say
your
no
shots first.
Yeah, declare your shots first. Oh wait, wrong
It's
game.
not how it normally works in this game. Fuck
No. No, I allow it to split because of the nature of
you.
it.
Yeah.
That does miss, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
What
yeah,
was it?
it's
As
what,
you
fuck
fire the
10?
Eldritch Blast forward, it otherwise shoots forward, the creature kind of shifts to one side as it zooms past, digging into the sand.
Okay, we'll try again. That's a 20.
Okay, firing this one forward. How much damage is that?
That's 11 for
11. You watch as you fire it forward, the Eldritch Blast strikes against its torso. You watch as the outer shell of its skin cracks, leaving this pinky flesh in the underside. As it strikes, you watch as this thing just begins to almost bleed out as it kind of spins to one side. It's looking hurt. These things are not tanky. Just there's a lot of them.
Okay.
You do watch, however, as you watch a small portion of its skin begin to lightly knit back together.
Okay, I'm gonna try and finish this then.
Okay, go ahead and make me another attack roll. Total?
That's 14.
14. As you fire it forward, it hits it watches it changes its direction, and you watch as it strikes against its back, as it's otherwise covered in this hardened minerals, which scatter off away from it and otherwise protect it from the strike.
Okay.
If you wish to move or use a bonus action, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, Rook, you're on deck.
Aye.
We are.
Yeah,
No, I will stay where I am.
Okay.
Okay, right. I am going to cast Zephyr Strike on thyself.
Okay.
And I'm going to go charging forward. Gonna whomp this guy
Make me an attack roll.
with Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
Because I get, advantage, so why not?
Why did you get advantage?
Isn't it advantage on the first hit, or is it additional damage?
Oh, that's right. Zephyr Strike does give you advantage on the first hit. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Plus
hits.
1d8 damage.
That hits. Plus 1d8.
Cool.
Plus 1d8 damage. So you do an additional d8 damage. You do your d12. Go ahead and roll your damage. Plus, what's the modifier? Plus 10 in addition to your usual pluses.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure you've killed it. As you swing forward with the axe, it bisects this one, cutting it from the collarbone down through its chest area and out of where its kidney would be. As you cleave it in two, the pieces just squelch onto the floor as it lets out a just falling onto the sand.
Out of what lungs, Chris?
Yeah. Right, okay. I'm going to move here and splatter this guy. It's
Okay.
going to be a normal attack. 'cause
Go
why
ahead.
not? That is 16 plus 11.
That hits. 27. Go ahead and roll your
Does a
damage.
27 hit, Chris?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Now you get the joy of it.
It's
That is
9 plus
plus-
6.
plus 6, 15 damage. You carve into this one as you cut again into where its neck and back would be. Doesn't quite kill it, but it digs in a good way as you pull your axe free.
Huh. This one survived. Lucky! I'm going to run off and kill this one now.
Okay.
Over here.
No opportunity attack because you have Zephyr Strike.
Aye.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. So which one's injured? That one. Okay. Let's make a mental note. This is going to be difficult. Whoa.
Oh,
13 doesn't
that's
hit.
sad.
As you take the swing, this one sees you running towards it as it lifts its arms and otherwise blocks the shot from coming close to you.
That's right,
10,
so hang on.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So that's
Right,
your
then I
Zephyr
have-
Strike movement done.
Yep.
because it
so
gives
I've
you a
got
dash, I
how
believe.
much? I've got 30 left, haven't I? It doubles my movement, and I've got 70 in total.
Yes.
So
Doubles your
that'll
movement for this
be
turn.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I'm just going to hang here with the boys. Hey,
Okay.
boys and girls.
You hang back, moving back to the rest of the party. Bern. At this point, you've watched as one of them's been badly injured, another's been killed, and you're otherwise surrounded by these things.
Oh boy. Well, they are there more behind them?
From what you've heard from Felipe, yes.
Which way are they mostly coming from?
This
Or
direction.
they were not? This.
Yeah, but they are traveling in a large line, which means they'll probably just go to surround you.
This does not look good. I'll say that much. Yeah. I will place a... Let's see how this goes. I'll place a Sickening Radiance.
Okay, I believe this is the radius of
Some
Sickening
sick
Radiance.
That is...
I'm just going to move that out of the way. Where would you like to place this bad boy?
I can't get...
You can? That'll
Yes,
be
I
fine.
Oh,
Okay. Place it.
Queglod, do not move forward.
This is a con save, correct?
Yes.
What's the DC?
20.
Okay, they all fail. Roll your damage.
4d10 radiant.
That's a lot of damage.
That is 25. You watch as all of them, as the Sickening Radiance impacts, this kind of dull greenish glow emanates from point, and you watch as each of them, as the radiance strikes over them, their skin and minerals on their back begin to burn and shrivel, as they begin to gargle and their body just begins to be torn apart almost, as they all collapse onto the ground.
Okay, it does affect them. Good.
Juicy.
Good, good. Very juicy.
Do about 10 more of those.
Okay. End of your turn?
I will heartbeat myself and yes.
Okay. Now it is 1 and 2's turn. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
I don't like
10,
this.
15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And that one's going to go there. Okay. Each of them have 3 attacks each, and they have pack tactics, giving them advantage. I'm going to have 6 attacks coming to you, Queglod, and 6 attacks going at you, Rook, and 6 attacks going at Malcom. They seem to have a semblance of intelligence, and by the looks of it, they are double-teaming people.
Oh my.
Okay,
Oh,
so this has a... Okay, Queglod, what is your AC? Just to save me asking each time.
15.
15. Okay. Miss on the first claw, hit on the second claw, just. Miss on the bite. Miss on the first... Or hit on the first claw, hit on the second claw, hit on the bite. So, that is 3 claws, 1 bite coming at you, Queglod. Pick up that one as well while I'm at it.
I think better do like no damage, otherwise we're fucked.
You take 19 points of damage total from those 4 attacks. Rook.
Okay, can I just quickly clear something up with you?
Mhm.
Sentinel is only if they don't attack me,
Correct.
isn't it? Right.
And they are
is it
attacking.
the same for intercept?
Correct, yes. But the person has to be
Right.
within 5 feet of you, which Queglod is not for this, and
Right.
they're not targeting
I just-
Bern.
I didn't know if intercept worked the same as sentinel.
Okay.
That's cool. I'll write that down.
What's your AC, Rook?
21.
It's 21, okay. First attack misses. Second attack misses. Bite attack misses. First claw just hits. Second claw misses, and the bite misses. So 1 claw coming towards you. You take 5 points of slashing damage.
Is it magical?
For these guys, it is. Yes.
Okay. Oh, 'tis a flesh wound.
Okay, and the attacks versus Malcom. What's Malcolm's AC? Malcolm's AC is 18 at the moment. So first claw misses. So that's a natural 20 on the claw. That's a hit on the bite. That's a hit on another claw. That is a miss on the claw, and the final bite is another natural 20. So that is 1 natural 20 bite and 1 natural 20 claw. I will do those first.
Is Malcolm gonna die to these fucking venom ripoffs?
Is word of recall instant or?
Yes, it is instant.
You'd have to
We
leave
might
someone
need
behind,
to-
though.
But also, it's
Yeah, but
supposed to be a
Vanish
ratio.
isn't.
What did you say?
Banish isn't, is it?
Vanish is instantaneous, but I need to maintain it for a minute.
For a minute, which is
But-
10 rounds.
But
So
him
you send
getting me out
some
here theoretically, I could send someone and then use Word of Recall.
Okay,
Because
Malcolm
one
took a
of
total
Two
of
people.
Malcolm took a total of 28 points of damage from all those hits. So he's not doing too bad.
You need to. Wait, he took 28?
28 total, yeah.
So you need to banish 2 people, then Word of Recall the
one
next turn. So
person,
you need to.
one person, specifically you.
Well, I'll
Remember, we
You need
also
to banish 2
as
people,
well.
so otherwise you can't fit everyone. Or am I wrong?
Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the rat, and then we go, and then it's good.
I'd prefer if you banish someone just in case Infernal gets put in somewhere that's awkward.
Infernal
Yeah.
what? He'll be dropped into
Five,
plane.
6. Okay, so you need to only banish me, and then you can recall next turn.
Malcolm
Then
and
I can recall
Sasha,
everyone.
you are both going at the same time. If you want to banish
Okay.
anyone, banish Malcolm. It saves me doing his stun.
Yeah, but Malcolm can't. Actually, no. Malcolm can tree strike.
You can use treant thingy. Travel via plants.
He can
Yeah,
also
tree strike,
he could
he can
also
transform
transform
into-
into a blue dragon if he wanted to swim if it got that bad. So
And that can be instantaneous, can't it?
He's,
yeah, that's part of his wild shape. That's an action, so he
if-
can do.
yeah, if Bern can't.
And doesn't
Also
he have
teleport,
that
not bad,
teleportation circle chalk or something?
Yes, he does. He has the home chalk, which requires a hard surface. So in most situations, he can get out.
You can get out
Alright.
of at least as many circumstances as Bern can.
Okay, but
Also, I don't have a 7th level spell slot, so I can't teleport out.
Because he used it for plane shift.
okay, I can do this, but everyone needs to be within 5 foot of me. Okay? So we need to kill these fuckers and huddle up.
And what about Malcolm? What are you doing with him? Also, Morbin guy is here somewhere. Let me get him a tile. Do I have a? Do I,
Put
have
him
a...
Also give
between
him
me and
initiative.
Sash.
He is
Put him
competent,
between
right?
me and
I
Sash.
actually need to roll initiative for him because he's actually got decent in combat. Okay, so he's going next. Screw you guys.
As in, before me, or...
Before you guys.
Oh,
yeah.
he's wild magic, isn't he?
He's wild
yeah,
magic,
true.
baby.
Yes.
Guys,
I
this
like
got
Honestly-
way off the way.
Come on, make
Do
it
that
also
enough, he might actually get back to the material on his own.
No. Alright, here we go. Alright, Hell Rat, here we go. Alright, what spells can you do, my boy? I need to get his stat
Come
block.
on,
That's one
boy.
thing I did forget to move over. Okay, let's see.
You're gonna have them roll for each time on the wild magic table.
Sam, do you need me to answer that question?
Oh, please.
I just
I
want
want
to
some wild
Chris,
magic in my life.
Chris, I want you to know that that is terrible if it was a player.
Why would it be terrible if it's a player?
Because it gets
The stress.
it gets the stress and makes it not nice casting spells. So the thought of actually fucking everything up just for the
But just imagine all the good things that could happen, Sam.
Chris, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Random is fun.
Too much
often.
random. It's as if Warhammer's not a balanced game, Sam.
Shut up. They
Say-
hated Jesus for he spoke the truth.
Okay, let's see. So he is going to cast. You watch as he puts his hands together and he pulls them away, and you watch as this tiny bead of swirling electrical energy begins to pull out of it, as he just lobs it into the air. All right, what's the radius
all
on this
of us.
thing? 20-foot sphere. That is that. He's going to put that right there.
Yes, good
actually,
one. You
actually,
can
no.
surround yourself.
I could put it there. Or there. Ooh,
There.
that might be
Yeah,
good.
that's the best
Yeah,
one.
that's the best one. Okay, he's going to cast it there. As he throws it into the air, you watch as this condensed ball of energy begins to spin rapidly as you hear the sound of lightning shooting out of it as he casts Storm Sphere. Each
That's
creature
Scary.
in the sphere, when it appears or when they end their turn there, makes a strength saving throw. Oh no. Let's see. Blue one fails. Or green fails. Red fails. Or take
Just explode
2d6.
and die.
Or take 2d6 bludgeoning damage. The sphere is difficult terrain. Until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your turns to cause a bolt of lightning to leap from the center of the sphere to one other creature you can choose within 60 feet of the center. Make a ranged spell attack. You can have advantage on the creature if it is within the sphere itself. If the target is in the sphere, on hit, the target takes 4d6 lightning damage. Okay. Alright. So,
That's a fun one.
each of them takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage as they're all looking pretty weak. And as a bonus action, he is going to cause the lightning to strike. I'm going to roll on the D100 table real quick for his wild magic.
Yes.
Yay!
Because he cast his
I
highest
love
level spell slot. Yeah. Sam, the way I'm probably going to rule it for wild magic in the future is each time you use a spell of each of the spell slots every long rest. So 1 first, 1 second, 1 third, 1 fourth,
Yeah,
and so
okay.
on. And then when you want to, because some of the features allow that. That
I do believe
is...
Sorcerer have to roll a d20 first. But...
Ah, well, it's my system. He hasn't expended any spells. He gets his 4th level spell slot back.
Yay!
You watch as he does that. The magic draws up towards him as he does so. He's going to make a spell attack against the blue one because it's next to Malcom. That is a miss, unfortunately. As the lightning strikes, it hits nearby, but not the creature at hand, as it otherwise hits. Okay, that is the end of his turn. He is next to you, Harlan, already. Okay, Malcolm and Sasha. Are you sending Malcolm away, or?
I'm not gonna do that immediately because we're kind of in a difficult situation here, and Queglod is a bit separated off from everyone else.
Okay.
So my thought process is, I should probably deal with the immediate situation and then do that.
Okay.
Do I expend a spell slot on my fabricate, or can we just
You
sort of
expend
pull
a
that
spell
up?
slot on the fabricate because you started the spell.
Okay, just thought I'd check.
Yep.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring out an old fan favorite. Your boy's casting Spirit Guardians.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 saves.
Get me a 15-foot bubble, boy.
What's anybody within 15 feet of you is not a point.
Yeah,
So-
within 15 foot of me.
Yeah,
so I just
so
want
it's,
to know
it's a
roughly.
square, not a bubble.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just 15 feet within you, so that's like that.
Everyone.
It's that.
Literally everyone. Jesus.
Yeah, it's that effectively. So that's all of these
Okay.
guys. So this guy, what is their wisdom save?
I'm gonna be casting that at.
What's the DC?
You know what? 5th level. I believe it is 18.
Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm casting that at 5th level, so that would be
5d8.
if I 5d8, yes. So let me just. Oh look, I've got 5d8 prepared down here. It's almost like I had this planned. 22 points of damage.
Okay. As the Spirit Guardians go out, these tiny red whelps appear in the nearby space as the draconic wings flap. You watch as they bite onto each of them as they all are turned to ash. As they all collapse to the ground, burning up as they do so.
Okay. Nice. And that is just there. So yeah, we've
Okay.
already talked about when that will proc now. So
Yep. Just checking
this
the
is just a
cover.
bad time for them.
Okay.
This is wonderful.
Is that the end of your turn?
So that is the end of my turn. Yes.
Malcolm, what spells do I know that you use? Ah, yes, Cool Lightning. That'll do.
And a classic druid spell.
Classic Druid spell. He's going to use Cool Lightning and hit this bozo at the back to kill him. Does he succeed on his dex save? No, he's dead.
Can I say I would have called out, everyone huddle up?
That's fine. And Malcolm's now concentrating on Cool Lightning. That is a 3rd level spell. Oh, he could have cast Fireball. No. Okay. End of your turn. It is number 3's turn. This one gets back up. This one is dead.
Oh, one thing I want to question.
That one's dead.
Do you lose concentration if you travel within range?
In a normal spell, an argument could be made, yes. However, banishment specifically sends someone to a different plane, and whilst I'm still concentrating on it. So I would make the argument that it is one of the few spells that I can guarantee I can do whilst on a different plane.
No, I mean like concentrate while traveling with Word of Recall.
It's instantaneous, provided the cast time isn't more than one action. It would be allowed. Granted, if there are any hazards, such as, say, wild magic, concentrations may be broken, damage may occur, and people may not succeed.
Someone mute that.
But it wouldn't stop them. It wouldn't be like
It depends.
Perhaps.
If you were to say cast banishment on somebody and then you were to plane travel, you took 10 points of damage and failed your concentration check, banishment fades, the person goes back to where they were.
Oh.
So I could kill Malcom right now.
It's a minute for that, right?
It depends. It's a minute for that, yeah. If you intend to cast it on him to alleviate pressure off of me, I'm going to say that he's going to request that you spend the entire time concentrating to make sure he gets there first. Because otherwise he's going to be an unwilling target and he'll make a save against it.
I will say...
Because killing
in a
another person's
great-
character while they're not here is...
Yeah. In Bird Society, this is considered a dick.
It is.
I will say,
Yeah.
I'm not doing great, but if I put Armor of Agathos on myself, I can last a minute.
I can...
I'm wary that that's 10 turns, and I'm off in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's
But numbers-wise,
Okay. Here's what I'm going to put forward.
say that.
Sorry I didn't see your message to
Yeah,
you, but yes, they're 14th
Let
level.
Harlan speak. He come up first.
Here's what I'm going to put forward. I could ask a Turan for help. We've talked about that. It's feasible that is something we could do, and that might make it a bit safer for Malcom. Or I could cast it on Bern and leave Bern to fly away on his pogo stick of destiny.
That was what I was gonna say next. If you want, you can just use it on me and take the chance. I'm willing.
'Cause the way I see it, you are pretty strong, even in the worst case scenario, and you have flight. Even if it's only minor level, like it's not like big up, like flying around at the speed of sound bullshit. It's still probably enough to get away from these guys who don't appear to have any range.
Okay. Elsyan,
Wait, do I have a turn now?
it's your turn now, yeah. They've moved up, but they haven't engaged, but you hear and watch as they seem to click.
Oh yeah, he did do his thing.
Yeah, you watch as they click, and you watch as they kind of lower their heads for a moment, and they just get on all fours, and you watch as their teeth begin to lightly vibrate.
Well, these red
These
ones
two
there.
here, yeah.
Okay, well, that one, to get to the person that we need to keep around, which in my head is Sasha, so Sasha can cast spells without having to worry.
Mm-hmm.
This one needs to go down because the other one's. So, excuse me, I need one of these. That one fireball for just that guy. Silly eye.
Any cantrips?
Yeah,
I do have.
there's no way to
cantrips.
catch both.
Cantrips are no fun. Oh, they are.
That's what they're for.
yeah, heard you chatting shit.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, Simon. I have these wonderful things called 6th level and higher spell slots. You might not have heard of them.
You're talking to the person who can cast 2 7th level spell slots, which is what a 20th level caster could do.
But they're not actual spell slots, are they? Are they?
No, it just means you can cast 2 7th level spells a day.
But
Strictly speaking, they do have to be the two specific ones. I can't
Oh,
cast
yeah.
the same one twice. But they're both really good.
oh,
Yeah,
Fuck,
I don't know
I
why I bother to write in the higher level stuff.
Alright, Elsyan, what are you doing?
That's a very good question. Fuck it, okay, fine, because I'm being judged on my not use of spell slots. Has been injured?
Nope. Oh wait,
Okay,
no,
then.
no, correction. That one got back up.
Okay. That's more worrying.
After being, I believe that was the one that was cut in half. You watch as the two body parts crawl back to one another, and it clambers back up and gets within range.
Okay. Is it missing any hit points?
Seems like it. Looks very, very badly wounded.
Okay then, Toll the Dead.
Okay. What kind of save is that?
That is a Wisdom saving throw, please, against
DC?
Oh, 18. I did double check this. Still a morning. Forgot to write it in my thing. I've got the book open. Bear with me. 8 plus
proficiency plus your spellcasting modifier. It's 18. Yeah.
18, yes.
Yeah. Okay, it fails. Don't roll the damage. It dies. It's got 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Well, I can't do anything out. Oh, I had a bonus action spell. I don't think I do have. Not to my knowledge. I can't do anything else. I am just going to egg Sasha on. Go, Sasha. Do your thing.
Alrighty.
Do I get anything from that?
You're egged on. He's not a bard. He doesn't give you inspiration. At this moment, Queglod, you hear a message from Felipe mentioning that there is a much larger one. At which point, you begin to see it off in the distance. This thing. You watch as it goes down on closer to the ground, and you watch as its hands kind of lightly electrify as it pulls the sand up, which solidifies into a giant orb. And it is going to throw this at...
Don't.
Sasha's the one causing the problem. I know I said I'd throw this at Rook, but I want to throw it at Sasha. Okay.
Go for it.
You did. Okay. Could I make an argument? Can this thing actually see me?
It doesn't need to. These things are blind, but when they are within range of one of their others, they have a hive mind, so they can currently see you. Welcome to NIDS.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That Chris's hive mind fetish thing.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, Chris, it's just hit me. Have you put us up against gene stealers?
Shh.
Chris, these are gene stealers with healthy eyes. What have you?
If you want,
Chris!
for those of you who are fans of the Avengers or Marvel, I'm surprised you don't recognize Thanos' minions in a little bit of a retweak of skin.
No, I mean, I recognise them immediately.
These look like
outrunners, but...
These look like the things from My Hero Academia.
You're
They
not
do
wrong.
look
Oh,
I
they
will
do
say-
look like the Nomu, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
will say the Outriders didn't get back
Okay.
up.
Can I make an argument here?
Depends.
If what Chris said is true, if we kill that one, we the rest of them
Okay,
die.
fine. Actually, what will just happen is they'll probably just get disadvantage on their hitting if they're not hitting the closest one.
Assuming that thing's the equivalent of a synapse creature. Either way, Sasha, that's a natural 20.
Oh, oof.
Can I block it with my body?
Do you
No.
want to?
No.
I will allow you to. This could instantly
Oh.
kill you.
Jesus Christ on a bike.
Yeah, he would still be able to get me out of here if I'm an unconscious body, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
sure. Let's go with
As long as-
that.
As long as you haven't got to make any saving throws, because good luck for that.
Yeah, no. Good luck, Sasha. You got this, babe.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine. I've had worse.
Okay.
Also,
Relatedly,
I can't help but notice that no one has fucking bunched up.
I'm next to you.
I haven't had a turn.
I haven't had a turn.
Malcom
You said that at least.
too.
Next to Sasha on
Just
Okay, Sasha, you take 57 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are knocked prone. I would like you to roll me a concentration check. The DC is 28 on the concentration check, given half the damage.
Okay, so I need a nat 20, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Can I?
Go for him.
So that was 57 damage.
57 damage, yes.
is Spiritual Guardian a concentration spell?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of collect spells that feel like
Yeah.
should be concentration aren't.
Spirit Guardians really should.
Oh, but welcome to spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
No, I love spiritual weapon.
So go ahead and roll me a concentration check.
Yes. Come on, baby. If ever there's been a time for a nat 20, that's right.
Now,
Fucking now.
Nope.
Nope, that's 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
It drops.
your concentration on Spiritual Guardian fails. You are currently prone. As the creature has thrown its rock for the turn, it is done.
Cool.
It's going to reload by trying to pick up another one. It'll do that again next turn.
now,
That- I would like to point
Everyone,
out its average damage
please.
is only a little bit less than what I rolled, so I rolled pretty low for a natural 20. Just
Guys,
putting that forward.
guys, I just need to put this forward. Please. I need you to all be in a position where I can feasibly get within 5 foot of all of you.
Yeah, Malcolm didn't because he was being penned on 2 sides, so he didn't move because of that. Right, back to the initiative order. End of their turn. Queglod and Rook.
okay. Now, this isn't a plan. Very explicitly not a plan.
Okay.
I just want to clarify something. Word of recall.
Mm-hmm.
That's you plus 5 other creatures and all the
Yes.
stuff they carry.
Yes.
Where do corpses fit in?
If you're suggesting to kill somebody and use them as a corpse to otherwise allow you to do this,
That would obviously be
Okay.
a terrible idea. But if somebody
I will
did
I
die,
will say this. I will allow it, but if you are affected by any time manipulation and you end up getting time skipped, I will count that time as their timer. So if days become weeks, that person is dead for a week.
yeah,
Okay.
Queglod
Can I put
would
some-
not be super on board with deliberately killing people to bring them back in.
I have
But
a
if someone
better
did happen
idea.
to die, I'm just putting that out.
I have a better idea that is similar to your idea, except what if we just don't kill someone? What if we just have Bern, who probably doesn't need to breathe, in the bag of holding?
You need to breathe.
He
thank
does
you.
need to breathe.
Shit. Does the rat need to breathe?
Yes.
Does Queglod need to breathe?
Everybody
Yeah.
here needs to breathe.
Actually, who's got a high enough constitution that they'll be able to hold their breath for 20 minutes? No one.
Nope. 'Cause you can hold your breath for a number of minutes equal to your constitution modifier.
I can hold mine for 5.
Highest is Sasha, so Sasha's the one who should be put in the bag of holding. But you
We
can.
need
However, slight issue there.
Alright,
What's
so
Sasha's
Rook
constitution?
and
Okay.
Queglod, what are you doing? 20 on her. And
I'm
Infernal's
going
20.
to move here,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it feels like I should do something offensive, but I'm going to, in an attempt to not die, I'm going to cast Armor of Agate.
Okay. Cast Armor of Agathis on yourself. That's 25 temporary hit points and cold to these bad boys if they hit you.
Yeah, which, given that 4 hits dealt 19 damage, I'm assuming, and 1 Eldritch Blast nearly killed one of them. I'm hoping this will last me for.
We'll have to find out.
Fair.
We shall see.
Rook, what are you doing?
That is unfortunately.
I'm gonna
an
go
action,
up
so I
here
can't
and
do it.
gonna bash this guy a couple of times because, lol, why not?
Attack
right?
roll.
I'll just do. Tell you what, I'll just do the 3. There you go.
See
It's
how
not
many
got
you
much
kill.
else to do.
See how many of them you kill. Yeah, he's dead. That would have been a natural 20, an 11 plus stuff, and a natural 20. Yeah, he's dead. Actually,
Aww.
that is a nope. That is a death blow. You natural 20'd him.
Cool. And then I guess I'll go here.
Okay. End of your turn, Bern. Anything you'd like to do, Bern?
These guys are here.
You can, like, fuck over the big guy.
What's the range there?
What's your dark vision range?
20?
Hmm?
20.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. Yes, so he's 150 away.
Don't have any vision.
So you
120.
don't have vision of him, no.
Yeah, mine is 120.
Yeah, so the rock just flew out of the darkness. Queglod's the only one who saw him, because I'm assuming Felipe's up here somewhere.
Yeah, he's flitting up above.
Am I being banished or not being banished? I'm willing to take the risk of the banishment.
If he is banished, could he appear in a volcano? 'Cause if that's the case, I'd like to go with him, because I have a way of surviving.
Only that one person, I think.
She can upcast it for 2.
Is it in any way guaranteed that they'll be banished to the surface?
Same plane? Yes. Same place? You don't know.
I have a boat that lives on lava water.
I got a boat.
I got a boat!
I'm gonna double check that, but I think it can go on lava.
Yeah, you said it was magical,
Yeah.
though. It's
Yeah.
on lava.
Yeah. So it should be fine. You gotta unfold it first, though. That takes... I gotta read how long that takes.
It's toasty.
Anyway, so, Bern, what are you doing?
Um,
You're currently concentrating on Sickling Radiance.
What's the range on this? I think this should be
What are you using?
Dawn of Coal.
Oh. So it will be a 60-foot radius, correct? Or a 60-foot thing? You can have it be like that as well.
Oh, I can have it. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
So,
Well,
5, 10,
what's my movement
15,
speed? So I
20.
think it's 30 feet.
It would have to be there,
Yeah.
which would catch one of them. Or there would catch 2 of them.
I can't. For banishment, I don't need to be next to Sasha, do I?
Nope, you just have to do the invisible range, which is 30 feet. 5, 10, 15. So another 15 would put you there. Alright,
Yeah.
con saves for them. DC is 20. Roll the damage. Infernal, roll the damage.
Oh, my mic doesn't work. It's like, oh, damage.
40.
Oh, wait.
Alright, you watch as all of these guys immediately are hit by the cold. As it washes over them, they begin to freeze and they crack and break into brittle pieces as it freezes them upon being dropped to 0 hit points. They are dead.
Nice. And he got to cast that spell.
Yep. End of your turn.
Also not next to Sasha, though.
True, but she was
Oh,
going to
yeah, you'll
banish
be
him.
back. Yes.
Yep. Okay, numbers 1 and 2. Dead. That one's still down. Alright. These guys get back up. That one's moving there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Dash 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 35. 10. Okay, dashing, these guys should be able to get within range. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. Okay, one of them's going to get to make 3 attacks with advantage. First one... So 21 to hit you. Shield. AC's now what?
23.
3. Okay. Next one, that is a 23 to hit you. That's the claw, and the bite misses. You take 4 points of slashing damage from the claw attack. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw for your concentration, please. And I'm going to have these 2 here. They're both going to attack Queglod. This one's going to attack the Hell Rat.
I succeeded.
Okay, you're fine. So, Queglod, the first one misses. Second claw misses. Oh wow, 3 and a 4. That's nasty. The bite attack hits. As you take 10 points of piercing damage, and the green one's down. As it takes 25 cold damage. The blue one hits you, doing 6 points of slashing damage, and goes down from the cold damage.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. And more of them arrive. At this point, I'm just going to do this because of how many there are.
Battalions.
Yeah, I'll just... Yeah, sure. They're forming up in battalions now. They need to stay in cohesion.
Of course.
Enemy AoE spells stay together, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know how it is.
Can they get a bit closer together? I need my no fireball.
Could we have
well,
them
like
in like 9 by 9?
No. In fact,
In a 9 by 9, Chris.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Sure. Let me just do this.
no, I think they just need to be like one big bundle. I think that would work better.
Oh, I can't believe it! You're ruining my immersion. What is this? What is
Oh, it's not with the
this?
mystical. Ah, my eye.
Get used to it. All right. End of their turn. It is Malcolm's turn. Cool lightning on this dude. He's dead. Nice easy turn. Sasha.
Next to Sasha now.
Please.
Oh yes, moves next to Sasha. There we go. Sasha, what are you doing? You're muted.
Druid Harlan.
Oh, my apologies. I'm going to get up from my proneness. Actually, no, I'm going to stay prone for the moment. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Because that means that ranged attacks have disadvantage.
You have learnt. Yeah.
I have learned. I'm just going to look over at Infernal and just be like, Bern, I hope this works. Banishment.
Okay, cast banishment on Bern. Do you resist?
Do you resist?
Okay. You are banished.
I believe he actually now goes to the material plane. It just takes a minute for him to stay there.
Yes, it does. You also note his sickening radiance disappears as the connection between him and his magic is no longer present.
Yep, knew that was coming. And I'm going to use my bonus action to do something. I swear I had it prepared. I don't have it prepared. It's okay. I don't know, gonna fucking cry. You know what? I might as well cast Spiritual Weapon. I'm casting Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
Aren't you concentrating on banishment?
You did
No,
also you cast a spell for already this turn, so you can't.
Right?
cast
Yep,
Spiritual
you're right. Sorry, my confusion there. Okay, I do nothing. I just lie down here and ready myself to do the good old murder thing. Do the good old word of recall.
Okay. That one's going to move there.
Desperately concentrating, by the way.
This will be the last turn before we stop for the night, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Just
I mean-
so there's no people saying, like, oh, I need to go, because the answer is yes, I know, do not worry.
This is where.
I mean, if it gets around to my turn, I'm just doing word of recall and we're yeeting.
35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, could go there. Okay, that one's going to do the same, moving up to here.
16 movement.
It dashed.
Oh, okay.
They have 40 movement base, they've got 80, so...
no, Chris, they're Gene Stealer, so they're advanced.
They're advanced and they can charge, that's right, Sam! Let me just roll some attack rolls.
They're Gene Stealers.
That's a natural 20! I'm not taking it though, because that's not how that works. Anyway.
I know.
Waste of a natural 20 and a 13, but oh well. Alright, attack versus Sasha, she is prone, with advantage. Okay, never mind, natural 20 not wasted. That's its claw attack, second claw attack. That is a... nope, that's a 20. And the bite attack, that is lower, that is an 18. Sasha takes 8 points of slashing damage from the claw on that actual 20. Sasha, please roll me a concentration check, please. DC is 10.
One. I know. I genuinely, this would be bad
You have
if this
Warcaster.
doesn't work.
You have
I
Warcaster.
do have Warcaster. Thank you. So I have advantage on this. Yeah, I'm
Fine.
good.
Okay.
If anything, it makes my spells stronger.
Okay. You still take 8 points of damage. End of their turn, Elsyan.
Wonderful. So, okay, I'm getting straight. Sasha, by the end of your turn,
We'll be gone. Is the
we'll be
intention.
Okay then. They're under 150 feet away
What's
from
your
me,
dark
right?
vision range?
That's a fair point. It'll be the standard, so 60.
Then you cannot see them currently. You hear them coming.
They sound like they're in regiments. They were not. Okay.
Still on cohesion though.
Still a cohesion. Sam's had a stupid idea. Casters aren't affected by their own AoE spells, are they?
Yes, they are.
Oh god.
Depending
Oh,
on the
not-
spell. Unless it says enemy creatures, it affects everybody. So casting Fireball on yourself still hits you.
Unless you're an evocation wizard.
Unless you're an evocation
does
wizard, in which
not.
case you have a little bit of favoritism.
Because they're bastards.
Yeah. Remember how in Fraser's session the caster used Hypnotic Pattern and put himself under the effect because Fraser didn't realise it also affected him?
Yes, I'm with it now. I'm with it now. Well, there goes my plan of Fireball.
The red ones have already gone, so if you can take care of the blue and green ones, I think we're
Literally,
safe.
Sasha, the red ones have gone.
Can you not just blow up the ones that are nearby?
Fuck it. That one. The one where I'm the only option to attack. Toll the Dead.
It's not damaged yet, so that is a new one. Wisdom
So
save,
Oh,
I take
thought
it?
you were.
Wisdom
I thought
save.
you were going
It
to blow up
fails.
those guys over there. Like, what do you want about?
Oh, those guys. I can't be bothered.
They can attack us. If they hit me and Bern loses, no, never mind.
Wait. Okay, just so I'm clear, these guys are go before you in the initiative.
Yes,
Yes.
I've also already rolled the save from Toll the Dead.
Okay, someone who goes before me, please take care of them.
So roll your damage.
Chris has done it. Not injured yet.
Not injured, so 3d8, I believe.
Yep.
13, still good. It's very badly damaged. But it still lives. Okay. End of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, it is the giant's turn.
Nice.
Rock heating. Yeah, I told Chloe I'd hit Rook with one at least.
Yes. Thank you.
That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Chris is like,
51
this-
points of damage.
I
See what
can
I
live with
see what I
that.
mean by I rolled low with the crit?
Does that put you below half health, Rook?
Oh,
Including the 33 we lost previously.
Rook, you were hit by this, so you are knocked prone.
okay.
And you need to make me a concentration check.
I'm
DC 25.
still making sure I'm asking, does that put you below half health?
I'm waiting to find out. I got 175 divided by 2. What is that? 87. Yeah, by 1 point.
Yes! I activate my flame of my
Heart of Immolation?
the Heart of Immolation, thank you.
What's it gonna do?
27.
Using a 5th level spell slot.
Okay.
And I'm going to be doing the Healy Boy Heart of Immolation.
Okay.
So that will be 6d8, I suppose, since it's 5th level. Healing plus my spellcasting mod, which is 5. So give me a second.
That's fine.
22. 22, 27. Who needs health?
I have 86.
Okay,
So,
I've got
not too bad.
60 currently, so I'm gonna drop.
Yeah, give yourself a bunch, because
I'm gonna put 10 on myself, 10 on Rook. Anyone else looking? Anyone else want 7 points? Who's taken damage in this battle?
Malcom, hasn't he?
I
Yeah.
have
He
12.
has, yeah.
Okay, what's Malcolm's health looking like?
I have just realised, this is my own fault, I didn't do the 33 radiant from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He's on 32 hit points.
Simon, how are you looking?
I'm on 69. Heal Malcolm.
Yep, 7 points of healing to Malcolm.
Simon's just like, not me, please.
7 points of healing to Malcolm.
How many?
7.
7, putting him on 39. Okay. As the rock hits Rook, Elsyan, you hear more sound. Not coming from this direction and with all the rumbling going on, but you hear a sound. As the area around you begins to light up. As you look up, you see a bright red orb float overhead as it burns with a small smoke trail behind it, lighting up the area. You immediately watch as each of these creatures just lets out a shrill scream and begins to pull back. You watch as their flesh begins to almost lift from its skin as the orb is lifted up. You see cresting over the nearby hill what looks to be these large two-legged birds, long necks, entirely made of metal with these tiny wings, almost like ostriches. And you see on the back of them what look to be humanoids, completely made of metal, some wielding weapons, as one of them shouts out, "Friend, need help?" And that is where we are going to end our session for the night.
That's some great fucking timing.
Nice.
Yeah, you spent 2 minutes casting Fabricate. If you'd started the encounter earlier, they would have arrived a lot later. Alright, so, for the stream, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You can't.